Co? Už to máš zbalený?
Jo. Nějaký poslední rady do života.
Hezky se uč. Nauč se, že si musíš věřit. A že úspěch není zadarmo. A nezapomeň si to taky trochu užít. Zkoušej nové věci. A i když to bude těžké a uděláš pár chyb, nikdy se nevzdávej. Protože když se nebojíš jít si za svým, můžeš nakonec získat víc, než čekáš. Zkrátka, svět je teď tvůj, tak si ho přetvoř podle sebe. A dovol někomu, aby ti s tím pomohl.
Palte do mě. Si bys to měl vidět.
Dávej!
Já myslím, že to neustojíš.
Má pravdu ten chlapec.
Tak se bav.
Nejsem křivej.
Zli se vrací domů?
Ježišmarja. Tak šťastnou cestu.
To je samý exot.
A je to povolený.
Let me welcome you here at this conference. I hope you're all energized and ready to get into the work and you got inspired by the energy of our runners today who will be doing the half marathon thing. But why are we here today? Let me honestly say this. All of us across the globe, across whole Europe, we all know that looking for and finding financial support for any kind of cultural event has always been a difficult thing to do. And now in those ever-changing financial times and environments, it's getting probably more and more tougher. So it's very important that we stick together, that we share what we learn, what we know, and that's the reason why we are actually here today. Consider this maybe less of a conference and more of a family, swapping recipes and trying to find some solutions for the future together. We would be very happy if by the time today we sit down for the lunch, we know that you can leave this conference knowing that you got at least one solution, one sentence, one idea, and something to bring back with you to your home festivals, to your hometowns, to your future jobs. About the structure of today, you've probably read it in the annotation, but we decided to organize the program around 2 blocks. And honestly, do not take maybe those blocks with a pinch of salt, because we decided to do this and to divide this by the way we perceive your festivals. But as we probably saw a pinch of your presentations, we know that it might be a little different, so we will see where we will actually get. In the first block, we will hear from, well, our hometown, from the Zlín Film Festival, then from the Gifoni Festival, and then from Just Film. After that, we will have some coffee, some break, time to talk, and there will come the block B with the representatives of Cinekit and Schlingel. After all of those blocks, there will also be parts of moderated discussions, so there will be time for questions, and after both of the blocks, you will also have time to ask, to react, so, you know, throughout the whole conference, write down your ideas, think about what you want to ask, what you want to talk about, and we will have plenty of time to do that afterwards. I would also like to say hello to anyone watching us on stream right now. I do not know which one of the cameras is mine, but just saying hi to anyone who is online now and just saying hi to anyone who's watching us afterwards, because I think we will be able to somehow get this conference to people who cannot be here with us. One small thing and confession before we go. I will be your timekeeper today, and I might get a little annoying about it, so just with love, keep that in mind. I'm here for that too. You can also, for the speakers, you can also see your time here, so you can check it. We are starting a little late, so I'll be watching that for you, so you can focus on your presentations. And now, before we get to the first block, let's hear from Artistic Director of the festival, Markéta Pášmová.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome at the Zlín Film Festival. I'm very happy to be here with you, but I'm even more happy that you are here with us. So welcome. I know it's quite early for somebody, but we have a lot to do, so I think it's going to be nice. Why Zlín? Because the 66, they are really real numbers, and I think that we have lots of experience and we would like to share it with you. So we are very happy to host this conference, and this conference is part of the Screen the Future project, which is International Children's Film Festival Network. And the project focuses on understanding young audiences, sharing knowledge between festival professionals, bringing European films to schools, and of course supporting film education across Europe. And this conference continues this mission to bringing together festival experts to discuss sustainable partnerships and the future of the Children's Film Festival. And I hope that in the end of the conference, we will be able to say, yes, we have found the solution. Okay, so enjoy it. Thank you very much again, and go on.
Yeah. Well, let's start the show, as they say. And first of all, please let me welcome here with her presentation, Jarmila Záhorová from the Zlín Film Festival.
Dobrý den, dámy a pánové, vítejte na Zlín Film Festivalu. Já jsem nepřipravila do své prezentace žádné obrázky, kromě jednoho grafu, a ten bude tam v průběhu. Protože jaký festival je, jaký je jeho současný výzor, tak to vidíte tady všude okolo. A já se pokusím trošku odprezentovat něco, něco o tom, jaké k tomu používáme nástroje, metody, a budu ráda potom naslouchat tomu, jak je to jinde. Začnu s dovolením historií a představením festivalu. To totiž je vlastně jádro toho všeho, proč ten festival je takový. Aspoň takto to vnímám v tuto chvíli já. Zlín Festival byl zařazen v roce 1961 na půdě filmových ateliérů ve Zlíně. Pořadatelem festivalu je společnost od roku 2012, společnost FILMFEST s.r.o. A musím říct, že společnost FILMFEST s.r.o. je plně soukromým subjektem. Má jednoho jediného majitele, a to je pan Čestmír Vančura, a myslím si, že tohle je aspekt, který do toho fungování je velmi důležitým prvkem v souvislosti s vašimi dalšími projekty. My jsme nejstarším filmovým festivalem v České republice, nejstarším filmovým festivalem tohoto typu na světě. V České republice patříme mezi 7 festivalů, mezi 7 vlajkových lodí v úvozovkách, mezi filmovými festivaly. Je to takovou jedničkou je áčkový festival, Mezinárodní filmový festival Karlovy Vary, potom je to Anefilm, Jeden svět, festival dokumentárních filmů Jihlava, finále Plzeň a filmová přehlídka Letní filmová škola v Uherském Hradišti. Když k tomu postavíte Zlín Film Festival, tak si vlastně mohu říct, že každý ten festival je zcela jiného zaměření, to je jeden ze základních aspektů. Druhý aspekt je, že se konáme každý v trošku jiném území České republiky. To je další důležitý aspekt. My jsme nejblíže s Letní filmovou školou. Tak to popisuji protože se bavíme o finančních modelech a bavíme se o tom, jakým způsobem se pohybujeme na trhu, vlastně, ve kterém hledáme podporovatele a partnery. Všem vlastně, my máme jednu velkou věc, se které si dělám vlastně legraci, protože jsme festival pro děti a mládež a jsme v této kategorii v České republice jednoznačně nejsilnější, největší a vlastně těm všem parťákům ostatním vychováme budoucí návštěvníky, takže měli by nás mít všichni rádi, protože je učíme mladé lidi, aby milovali film a aby chodili do kina. Návštěvnost festivalu v posledních letech, už od roku 2010, překročila 100 000 návštěvníků. A návštěvnost toho v kinosálech pohybuje mezi 20 až 25 000 filmovými diváků, což je velmi velké číslo, když to vezmeme do úvahy to, že se bavíme o 7denním festivalu. A je důležité říci, že naši velkou cílovou skupinou, ke které se ještě několikrát potom vrátím, jsou děti v doprovodu škol, to znamená organizované návštěvy, školní kolektivy. Tihle návštěvníci tvoří vlastně téměř polovinu. Jo? Pohybujeme se někde mezi 10 až 12 tisíci jak který rok. Zase berme, že je to za 5 pracovních dnů v dopoledních hodinách. Celé je potřeba zase ještě zabalit do jednoho balíčku a to je festival se koná ve městě nebo v lokalitě, která čítá 74 000 obyvatel a celý Zlínský kraj má téměř 580 000 obyvatel, ale k tomu všemu také je postavena, těmto počtům obyvatel je postavena celá infrastruktura. To znamená, že vlastně opravdu tu trošičku narážíme na nějaké kapacity, co se týká dopravních, ubytovacích a podobně. A nesouvisí to pouze s návštěvnickou skupinou, ale souvisí to také s našimi možnostmi, jak můžeme pracovat směrem k obchodním partnerům. Jaké jsou naše možnosti se o ně dobře a kvalitně postarat. Velkou výhodou festivalu je, a to zcela neodmyslitelnou a úplně jedinečnou výhodou festivalu je to, že byl založen na půdě filmových ateliérů ve Zlíně. Jak už jste v průběhu svého pobytu ve Zlíně slyšeli, letos je to 90 let a to je vlastně úplný základ. Festival od té doby se různým způsobem vyvíjel. Je nutno říct, že těch 66, ta číslo 66 je opravdu kontinuální průběh festivalu. Nezavřeli jsme to ani v době covidu, ani v různých obdobích tady ne úplně jednoznačných. A tohle, ta věta, kterou tam máte pod tím, všechny děti, které žijí ve Zlíně, byly na festivalu. V dnešní době za těch 61 let. To znamená, prostě mají k tomu nějaký vztah. Nebojí se simultánního tlumočení, nebojí se paní učitelky vzít děti do kina na to, aby si to užili, aby si to zažili. A vlastně nejsou tím zaskočení. Takže vlastně my jenom musíme s tím takto dál pracovat. Podstata je ta, že mají festival rádi. Čekají na něho. A to, myslím, dělá také to, je velká ta věc, že to dělá atmosféru v tom městě. Ti lidé se usmívají, mají ten festival rádi a nebojí se přivést své děti, svá vnoučata a podobně na festival do kinosálu, ani pedagogové se toho neobávají. To je velká devíza, ale za tu my nemůžeme, za to musíme děkovat našim předchůdcům. Co se týká finančního modelu, tak my opravdu usilujeme o jednu zásadní věc, aby festival nevisel na jednom laně, ale snažíme se o to, abychom budovali vícezdrojové financování. To je, vidíte, prvky, které do tohoto konceptu patří, ať veřejné zdroje, soukromé zdroje, vlastní příjmy z projektu, ať už jsou to akreditace, vstupné, startovné, prodej merchandisingu a podobně. Ale tento bod, ten bod 3, je zase se potřeba na něho podívat trošku optikou té naší cílové skupiny, kdy jedeme tím, že jsme pro kategorii dětí a mládež, jedeme velmi výrazně na nekomerčním vstupném. Nemáme nějak silně komerční vstupné. A zase z dalších důvodů, které vysvětlím posléze, je docela zásadní část programu, kterou nabízíme veřejnosti, nespoplatněna. Ale zase dovysvětlím dál. Vlastní zdroje usilujeme máme určité aktivity celoroční, pracujeme pro naše obchodní partnery, snažíme se jim nabízet ještě další eventové aspekty, eventovou problematiku řešit pro ně. A teď pojedu dále. Co se týká těch veřejných zdrojů, takové ty klasické, které využíváme, tak jsme moc rádi za smlouvu. Po velkém úsilí s Ministerstvem kultury se nám podařilo uzavřít víceletou spolupráci nebo víceletou smlouvu na podporu, protože Ministerstvo kultury je zcela zásadním donátorem a zásadním podporovatelem festivalu už opravdu řadu let. Statutární město Zlín, Zlínský kraj, Státní fond audiovize a Evropská komise Creative Europe Media. Se statutárním městem Zlín máme také víceletou smlouvu. Přejdu k soukromému sektoru, já se k těm prvkům ještě následně budu různě vracet. Co se týká soukromého sektoru, tak se dá rozdělit do 3 základních kategorií a tím prvním prvkem jsou vlastně finanční partneři a podporovatelé a těch máme opravdu velké množství v různých finančních hodnotách a v posledních letech usilujeme o to, zejména teď v těch posledních 2 letech, abychom umírnili množství těch obchodních partnerů a spíše absolvovali tu částku, kterou nás podporují. Není to proto, že bychom si nevážili těch podporovatelů, těch menších, ale protože obstarat kvalitně službami takové množství partnerů je opravdu velmi složité. A zase to přeložme ještě do toho kontextu, o kterém jsem hovořila před chvílí. Jsme v aglomeraci, která má nějaké svoje možnosti, nějaké svoje parametry. Dalším bodem jsou vlastní příjmy projektu. Co se týká toho ticketingu a tak dále, merchandisingu. Další prvkem, který v těch příjmech projektu ještě je přefakturace služeb našich obchodních partnerů, protože některé věci realizujeme právě v souvislosti s jejich aktivací a tyto náklady samozřejmě plnohodnotně přesouváme na tyhle naše obchodní partnery. Tak, co se týká ukážeme si tady jeden graf, kterým bych s dovolením zavřela tohle a pak se vracela dále k těm vlastním zdrojům. Tady vidíte, jak se v posledních letech vyvíjela situace v porovnávání veřejných zdrojů se soukromými a s těmi příjmy projektu. Příjmy projektu se opravdu, rok 2026 je v tuto chvíli jako odhadovaná položka. Věřím, že se tam dostaneme výše, ale je to velmi umírněný odhad. Festival se vyvíjí nejenom v těch financích, ale berme, že postupně od roku 2021, kdy došlo k prvnímu výraznému zvýšení nákladů, v tuto chvíli jsme na nákladech projektu v realizaci na úrovni 65 milionů korun. Co se týká vlastních zdrojů, tak k těm se teď ještě vrátím, protože je tam jeden zcela zásadní prvek. Jedna věc, že organizujeme příměstské tábory, eventy, o kterých jsem hovořila. Máme různé celoroční vzdělávací aktivity, ale zcela zásadním prvkem v možnosti toho rozvoje a existence festivalu v této podobě a v jeho postupných krocích je to, že tento projekt má majitele, který jeho cíle tohoto projektu byly stanoveny společně prostě jednoznačně s majitelem a pan majitel má otevřenou mysl a dovolil nám tohle realizovat a vykrývat určité okamžiky, kdy ten projekt nebyl úplně sebefinancovatelný v plné míře. Je to zcela, myslím si, zásadní, vy jste tu z festivalu, takže víte, o čem hovořím. A pro tu stabilitu toho vývoje je to neskutečně důležitá věc. Jdeme k těm typům partnerství. Státní prostředky, Ministerstvo kultury, Fond audiovize a Kreativní Evropa. To jsou projekty, to jsou samozřejmě podpory, které jsou přímo zaměřeny na podporu filmového průmyslu, podporu odboru audiovize a tedy vlastně podporu samotného filmového průmyslu. To je vlastně jednoznačné zaměření, které nás už posouvá jasným směrem k film industry, k odborným věcem a zase k realizaci pro ně zaměřeného programu. Statutární město Zlín, Zlínský kraj, tam je zase zcela jiný fokus. Zadání z těchto dvou institucí, které nás podporují, vedou jiným směrem. Opravdu zajímá je obsah pro obyvatele regionu, zajímá je obsah pro incomingové návštěvníky, pro hosty, kteří do regionu přijíždí. Je to festivaly pro ně určitým lákadlem, se kterým začalo město a kraj také pracovat. Vnímají nás jako svůj reklamní nástroj pro popularizaci této lokace, této aglomerace. Jak už jsem říkala, jako podporu cestovního ruchu. A to, na čem jsme se opravdu shodli v posledních letech, je to, že Zlínský filmový festival je projektem, který může budovat hrdost obyvatel tohoto města, této lokality, k této lokalitě. Je to tady naše moderátorka, Monika Zavřelová, je přesně ten typ. Ona je tady kousek odsud a vlastně shodli jsme se na tom, že to takto mohu říct.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be one of the kids of the festival and I'm very happy that the festival invested in me from the very early ages.
Myslím, že každá lokalita by měla mít něco takového, co bude tahat naspět ti, kteří vyrazí do světa, aby se tam rádi vraceli. A věřím, že Zlínský filmový festival tohle pro své současné mladé lidi může být. V soukromém sektoru pracujeme směrem k široké skupině podporovatelů. Máme jak korporátní nadnárodní společnosti v posledních letech, tak také regionální a lokální partnery, a samozřejmě potom další škálu mediálních partnerů. Každá z těchto skupin má své jiné cíle, jiné přístupy, jiná očekávání. Korporátní partneři u nás hledají spojení s dobrým brandem. Zajímá je to, že jsme docela dobrá značka, takže chtějí chvilku s námi jet a prezentovat se u nás a my, abychom prezentovali je. Máme docela zajímavé mediální zásahy v poslední době, takže i z tohoto důvodu jsme pro ně zajímaví. Na druhou stranu my to otáčíme i opačně. Snažíme se naše obchodní partnery a podporovatele dostat do situace, že velmi intenzivně komunikují, nebo aby více a více komunikovali o projektu a o tom spojení. Tím nám rostou nějaké samozřejmě dosahy a také naše vizibilita v rámci České republiky. Co se týká regionálních partnerů a těch lokálních, tak tam jsou trošku jiné ty priority. Jedna je být u projektu, který je tady jako regionální, je místní a chtějí ho podpořit, to je jedna skupina. Druhá si říká, je dobré u toho být. A třetí skupina, a to třetí, co řeknu, platí pro všechny tyhle, kteří jsou v tom tady lokálně a regionálně zastoupení. My jsme docela zajímavý HR nástroj pro ně. můžeme fungovat dobře jako v rámci benefitu pro jejich zaměstnance, jako pro jejich team buildingové aktivity a podobně. Pro všechny z těchto partnerů jsme připraveni a realizujeme, pokud o to mají zájem, samostatná setkání se zaměstnanci, mají možnost mít samostatnou projekci, k tomu nějakou další nadstavbu. Tohle to všechno vlastně mají podle samozřejmě kategorie podpory v nějakých nabídkách, jednáme s nimi o tom a vlastně hledáme tu správnou a vhodnou cestu. Je to opravdu vždycky o jednání, vyjednávání. Ale opravdu každý má jiný cíl, každý má jiný přístup a hlavně každý má jiné očekávání. Pokud jde o mediální partnery, tak pracujeme v celé škále od celoplošných médií až po lifestyleová média. Co u nás hledají, je jednak atraktivní obsah, ale také docela zajímavý redakční obsah. Proto se tu objevují nejenom naši mediální partneři, ale v posledních letech sem přijíždí také velká skupina novinářů, kteří nejsou přímo našimi mediálními partnery. Ale zase byla to nějaká cesta, kterou jsme museli projít. Naším cílem v rámci mediálních partnerů, protože my ty, kteří jsou našimi mediálními partnery, hodně diskutujeme vnitřně, je opravdu budování naší značky. Zajímá nás výrazně celoplošný zásah a potom ještě cílíme do různých vybraných lokalit a regionů. Takže to je jedna cesta, jedna linka budování našeho brandu a druhá linka je potom přímá komunikace každého ročníkového obsahu, to znamená zaměření na přímo cílové skupiny, tak, jak potřebujeme a to je taková už ta přímá komunikace v době konání festivalu, nebo těsně před tím festivalem, bychom doručili náš obsah těm konkrétním návštěvníkům, pak se vlastně stahujeme v té komunikaci hodně tady do regionu. Usilujeme o komunikaci v plné šíři obsahu a cílem v rámci komunikace je definovat si cílové skupiny předem, stanovíme si cíly. Prostě to, co ale jsem tady teď řekla, tak o to usilujeme, my se o to snažíme. Neznamená, že už to tam je. Prostě jsme pořád na té cestě a věřím, že je to takové vždycky každoročně v tom děláme nějaké kroky. Je to optimální, kdyby se nám vždy podařilo si stanovit přesné cíle. Vždy si stanovit všechno dopředu, ale pořád my jsme festival. Festival jako každý jiný, takže máme základní jádrové body, ale vždy je to o to, že je to každý rok prostě o drobných kručcích, které jsou. Takže popsala jsem, co bychom chtěli, jaké jsou naše cíle, ale jsme pořád na cestě. Jak partnerství vznikají? Byly tam takové 4 odrážky, jestli osobní kontakty nebo otevřené výzvy a tak dále, máte to tam napsané. Platí vše v našem případě. Začíná to u osobních kontaktů, ale jdeme i do otevřených výzev. Hledáme v portfoliu partnerů, říkáme si, kdo by byl vhodný, pak hledáme u nich v dostupných informacích, jestli vlastně to spolu by mohlo vůbec fungovat, jestli by mohli vlastně vůbec být našimi partnery, jestli tam je nějaký kontakt. Oni to mnohdy ani neví, že je, my ho tam najdeme, ale někdy si řekneme, ne, to se vůbec nepotkává. Tam prostě v obchodování filmových festivalů není prodej na krámě. Obchodování filmových festivalů nebo těch produktů je o hledání toho partnera tak, aby to spolu fungovalo, aby jsme našli společný cíl, společné pravidla, aby tam ta chemie prostě byla. Co preferujeme jednoznačně, jsou dlouhodobé vztahy. A usilujeme o uzavírání víceletých smluv. Jsme na nějaké cestě, před rokem a půl, před 2 lety se nám to začalo více dařit, ale do té doby jsme i v tom soukromém sektoru vlastně pracovali z roku na rok. Je to velmi nejisté, protože vy víte, jak to je. Skončí festival, otřepem si hlavy a vyrážíme znovu. A tím, když je to spolupráce víceletá, dává to více klidu do té organizace, už se pak jenom meziročně ladí některé aspekty a můžeme můžeme pracovat dál. Ty spolupráce jsou mnohem vstřícnější, otevřenější a hlavně eliminují chyby. Tady jenom si proletím ještě svoje poznámky v tom připsané a půjdeme dál, protože čas kvapí.
Máme ještě 5 minut. Ano,
No, to tak vyjde akorát.
Nerada vám do toho vstupuju na vaší domácí
Ne,
půdě,
já to
ale-
sleduju. Já to sleduju, já tam na to mrkám, do toho rožku. Co partnerům nabízíme? Je to tam napsané. Ale vlastně nabízíme kombinaci všeho a pracujeme směrem k tomu, jak jsem o tom hovořila před chvílí. Pracujeme způsobem komunikace s těmi partnery. Bráníme se velmi zasílání slepých prezentací. Posíláme v prvním plánu pouze prezentaci projektu a nějaké dotykové body, kde cítíme, že by to mohlo fungovat. Ale všechno ostatní se děje na těch schůzkách, všechno ostatní se děje při těch dalších jednáních a hledání té nejvíce přílnavé části té spolupráce. Troufám si říct, že to, co je napsáno úplně nahoře, že nabízíme projekt s dobrým renomé, tak to je takový jakoby odrazový můstek pro to celé. A pomáhá nám v tom ta historie, pomáhá nám to, co odpracovali naši předchůdci a myslím si, že nám k tomu také pomáhá to, že k tomu projektu přistupujeme s určitou pokorou a vědomím toho, že to nechceme zkazit, to, co tu tolik roků vznikalo. Naším benefitem pro partnery je, myslím to, že se nám daří naplňovat deklarované cíle skutečným obsahem. A také to, že máme atraktivní cílovou skupinu. Je neskutečně široká. Jo, když se podíváte, koho všeho musíme obsloužit, ale vy to máte většina z vás obdobně, tak je to velmi, velmi složitá cílová skupina, ale je pro všechny velmi atraktivní. Všichni vypráví, jak chtějí podporovat děti, jak chtějí podporovat mládež, jak je to super. Ale pak přijde na lámání chleba a není to vlastně potom se velmi složitě už pak hledá ta samotná realizace. Ale pořád ta cílová skupina je velmi atraktivní. A prostě určitě nesplnitelná očekávání partnerů, když si někdo myslí, že bude na festivalu a v tom okamžiku prostě vydělá ten balík peněz. Prostě není to tak. Nefunguje to tak. No, takže je to takové vlastně, je to taková skládačka těch všech aktivací a aktivit. Prostě musí se vždycky všechno odpracovat a i ti partneři, když mají ta očekávání jakákoliv, tak je musí odpracovat. Vždycky musí být aktivní i ta druhá strana a v tom je složitost toho hledání toho vhodného partnera. Ale když jsem říkal, že nemají hledat přímé zvýšení tržeb, tak se musím pochválit. Kolegové tady, nebo naši partneři z jedné organizace, která tu prodává, má tu prezentaci jako náš mediální partner, prodali nejvíc předplatného za první 3 dny. Prostě za celý rok u nás tady v parku. Jo. Takže to je super. A mám radost z toho, že je to prodej časopisu pro děti. Takže to je moc fajn, jo, že to k něčemu takovému motivovalo. Ale to je čestná výjimka, vy víte, jak to myslím. Etika v partnerství. Hlídáme to velmi. Snažíme se prostě ty věci hodně eliminovat. Je to o tom, že bychom neradi zbourali důvěru návštěvníků ve festival a protože když budou mít na důvěru ti návštěvníci, budujeme z toho dobrou, pořád držíme tu cílovou skupinu. Ta cílová skupina je zajímavá pro ty obchodní partnery a tak dále. Je to takový uzavřený kruh. A tím, jak jsem hovořil o té cílové skupině, děti, teenageři, rodiče, kteří přivádějí děti, pedagogové, kteří přivádějí děti a podobně, je ta komunikace velmi, velmi široká a složitá. Já začnu zrychlovat, Moniko, už to tady tlačím. Červené linie, jasné, alkoholy a všechny tady ty věci a k tomu je spousta dalších, kdy ti partneři začnou třeba v určitém okamžiku realizace tam přivádět nějaké svoje, strkat tam vlastně některé svých dalších aktivit. To se někdy stává, že máme kvalitního partnera, ale najednou říkám, no ale já ještě tam prostě ještě mám nějakou jinou oblast a chci ji tu mít. Prostě to je to velmi tenká linie, je potřeba s těmi partnery hodně o tom komunikovat, vyjasňovat si ty věci, tak aby jsme tomuto zabránili. Není to jednoduchá činnost. Specifika z práce s dětským publikem, to souvisí s tím, co jsem říkala před chvílí. Opravdu je to o velké koordinaci těch činností, které v rámci festivalu mají naši obchodní partneři. My jsme zpočátku pro většinu našich obchodních partnerů ty jejich aktivace připravovali. Teď, jako když se vrátím třeba o 4, o 5 let nazpět. A aby jsme jim přesně si jako vyspecifikovávali ty věci, kam mohou jít, co mohou dělat, aby to stále konvenovalo s festivalem. A hlavně jsme filmový festival, takže se snažíme všechno namotávat na ten film. Aktivity i různých partnerů, aby ty aktivace co nejvíce souzněly s dětským filmem, s mládeží a nebo s filmem jako takovým. S někým to jde lépe, s někým to jde hůře, s někým to nejde vůbec a musíme to opravdu pořád držet v ruce. No, ale zase bez obchodních partnerů nemůže růst projekt, není ufinancovatelný, je to balancování opravdu na takovém tenkém provázku, na tenkém lanku, jak to udělat nejlépe. Jestli jsme museli někdy odmítnout velkého partnera a upravit kvůli hodnotám, ano. To myslím, že každý, kdo na tom jsme, ano. Vždycky se najde někdo, kdo je nejlepším prodejcem něčeho nebo má nějakou velkou myšlenku. Tam není jiná odpověď. Nejdůležitější partnerství, mnoha jsem tu zmiňovala, ale celé to podtrhnu, napsané jsou tam některé, ale podtrhnu to jedním. Všechna jsou důležitá. Některá prostě každá mají nějaký svůj aspekt, ale v tuto chvíli máme partnery, kteří tvoří určitou skládačku toho celého konceptu. Je to o tom, že samozřejmě partnerství, která jsou dlouhodobá, mají velký bonus, jsou velkým benefitem pro nás, pro všechny, protože jsou na větší bázi přátelství. O očekáváních a tak už jsem hovořila dál. Když půjdeme dále, výzvy a problémy, tak něco jsem napsala na ten slide. Nedalo mi to tam nenapsat. Kdo sem jezdíte často, nebo byli jste na festivalu vícekrát, víte, že se setkáváte v prostorách, nebo že je tu x partnerů, kteří jsou jako opakovaně v tom prostoru. Jsou tu s námi. A to je to nejtěžší pro organizátory. Víte, nic nejde samo, nikdy se sem nic nespustí na zlaté níti, všechno se musí odpracovat. A musí se odpracovat i každý jeden partner, ať je tu 1. rok, nebo 3. rok, nebo 20. rok. A tak jako všude do těch partnerstv, v těch firmách, kteří jsou našimi partnery, se mění lidé, přichází noví, mění se cíle, vize jednotlivých firm a podobně, přichází noví manažeři a ti mají nové své kamarády a nové své zájmy a rádi by něco. Takže je velmi složité. Každá práce s tím partnerem je složitá. Proto jdeme tou cestou maximalizovat počet firm, které máme na víceletých partnerstvích. Je to složitější cesta, ale myslím si, že je to vlastně jediná správná. Když přeskočíme dále, tak tady už bychom se docela znovu vracím se k těm víceletým smlouvám. Můžeme jet dál. Očekávání partnerů je samozřejmě, že mají představu o tom, že budou maximalizovat svoje zisky, rostou jim firmy a podobně. Ale má to celé, ten jejich pobyt tady na festival má ještě jeden důležitý aspekt. Oni jsou na festivalu, oni se přijeli i pobavit. Oni tu chtějí být spokojení a užít si to. Takže je to taková ta linka, která tam musí zůstat. Takže je to opravdu o balanci těchto věcí. Naše strategie do budoucna udržet čitelný obsah a to pro naši stále měnící se cílovou skupinu. My tu vlastně jsme všichni z Festivalu pro děti a mládež a víme, jak složitě se vlastně drží krok s mladou generací a nejenom v obsahové části, ale také v způsobech komunikace, v tom, jak jim ty věci nabízet, aby to dobře vnímali. My máme obrovskou skupinu dobrovolníků, nebo aspoň naší tady místní optikou máme velkou skupinu dobrovolníků. Je to vlastně v dnešní den pracuje 300 lidí v dobrovolnickém režimu teď, protože je ten půlmaraton, jak víte, který vám komplikoval příchod. Ale i s nimi jsme, když vezmu, na nich je to přesně mohu ukázat. Za poslední 4 roky jsme zcela změnili způsob komunikace do této cílové skupiny. Jedeme všechno na Instagramu, všechny věci, všechna zadání jim dáváme prostě touto formou, prostě úplně jinak, než jsme to dělali prostě před 4 lety. Je to úplně jiný režim a to stejně platí vůči našim divákům. Jo, je to vůči těm mladým lidem. Takže udržet si citelný obsah znamená udržet si také stále dobrou cílovou skupinu, takovou, aby nám důvěřovala, aby stále důvěřovala našemu obsahu a komunikovat srozumitelně. To, co platí pro návštěvníky, platí samozřejmě i pro naše obchodní partnery. Jo. A prostě poslední slide mé prezentace je úplně jednoduchý. Stabilita projektu je stabilita realizačního týmu, to vede k rozvoji projektu a tohle všechno vede k tomu, že můžou nám důvěřovat partneři a můžeme plnit přání partnerů nebo s nimi o těch jejich přáních dobře a kvalitně diskutovat. Protože když známe ten projekt, tak ho můžeme hájit a máme svůj projekt rádi, takže můžeme ho hájit i proti těm věcem a těm skutečnostem, které by ho mohly poškodit. A to je za mě všechno. Moc vám děkuji za vaši pozornost. A vítejte ve Zlíně.
Thank you, Jarmila. Thank you very much. We didn't have the last slide actually there, but the last slide said never promise what you cannot deliver, which is something I bet we can probably agree on. And we are running only a few minutes late, which is great. And next we will hear from the Giffoni Film Festival from Antonia Grimaldi. Welcome.
How it works. Hi everyone. We have very much in common with Celine. I just noticed, not just noticed, but I suspected. Now I'm sure. But also we have big difference, and we are definitely worse in budget structure, as we can see in 1 minute. Next, please. Where is Giffoni? In the south of Italy, Campania region, wonderful region. Name Giffoni Film Festival from the place. Organization is an association, Ente Autonomo Giffoni Experience. Giffoni population, 12,000, around 12,000. First year, 1971. Content, children and youth films, short films, documentaries, meetings with film cast and crew, meetings with the intellectuals, politicians, influencers, musicians. Infrastructure, multimedia valley, property of municipality, rented to the festival with a multi-year concession. As you can see, Giffoni is very small, and this is our limit, but also our opportunity in all this year. Very small, so it's very difficult for us to find private funding because we don't have so many people going around all the time to watch boards, to see normal promotional materials. So we have to find something else. The next, public, in the good year, this is the number, film section dedicated to children. As for Zlin, we try to target very, to divide our target in a very specific way. So we have children 3-5 years old, 6-9, 13, 14. We have a change. This year we made another change because we have, before it was 13, 15. Now it's just 2 years, 13, 14. And then now the 15 years go with the older one. And you can imagine why. Young people are changing. We have to change with them. And then there is a last section, another section for young people of 18, but they can stay together, watch film together with older jurors, people who were in the jury when they are very young and now are 15 or also 16 and come back to the festival and still stay in the festival as a juror. And one last section dedicated to parents, educators, and festival goers. In Gifoni, children from 6 years come in the theater without parents, without teachers. So we have our staff in the theater. The parents arrive to the cinema, leave their kids, and go away. And the kids stay with us without teacher, without parents. So sometimes it's a real difficult situation for us as a festival, but kids are very happy. Gifoni is a place where they are very independent from the start, and they like it. And from 13 years on, there are an international jury, young people coming from all the world. When we don't have wars around, we arrive 45 different countries. And they come in Gifoni and stay in the local families with the local jurors. So it's also an occasion to open your mind, spending your time with the kids coming from a completely different country. We have kids from Iran, from in the good time from Palestine and Israel, and people from Qatar, from India, and they stay together, they live together this experience. Can you click on the video? It's very short.
Ed è l'esperienza più bella della mia vita, assolutamente, cioè non ci sono proprio paragoni. Ma lo sai perché? Perché 10 giorni su 365 e vivo tutte le emozioni, i sentimenti, esperienze di una vita. December when I got the email, I cried, and my dad walked into my room and he goes, "Oh my God, Gab, what's wrong?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm going back to Gifoni. Can I go, please, please, please?" There is a lot of diversity, a lot of different ideas about cinema, about different things, different cultures that we are sharing between each other, and I think our minds open. Like I'm asking myself, like, why didn't I come here before? Like, what was I thinking? Non importa chi sei, non importa dove vieni, la tua lingua, la tua religione, il colore dei tuoi capelli, il colore della tua pelle. Tu l'importante, se sei a Gifoni, sei uno di Gifoni, punto.
The actor you have seen, they are guests of the festival. Their presence is not linked to the filming competition. It's like another part of the festival. As a tradition, we invite actors and directors to meet young people to talk about their job, their life, how to become an actor, how to become a director, who were their teachers, and so on. The number of films, 99 in competition for the last edition and 55 out of competition, as we said, in different sections. Another slide, and this is the problem. This is the problem. As you can see, we depend completely on public fundings. The different blue is because the darker blue are funding for the festival, for the July festival. The other blue is which are the part we are working on. The last slide of Zlin say that it's really important for the festival development, the stability of team. To create this stability, we are creating other events during the year, so young people can stay with us for more time. And to create this event, we are catching other public fundings related to educational problem. For example, the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of Education in Italy in the last 5 years created a program to develop the cinema in school. And as an organization, you can present a project and to have this kind of fund, this kind of funding. And we created project, and we are at 5 edition of another festival we run during the school year from November to May, and it's in 7 different Italian regions. So our team go in this region, a week for each region, working with local partner and association to create another 7 different festivals dedicated to films made by school children and young people. The July Festival is just for film of professionals. This other festival, School Experience, has a part dedicated to the production of young kids. And this Italian program is working not just for school, but also for small productions, because this small production now can work with the public schools, and they create together short films. And this short film can go to this kind of events created by Gifoni Film Festival, but also Cineteca di Bologna. The ECFA is working with Bologna for the very interesting program, and Cineteca di Bologna, like Gifoni, work with kids usually, and now they have this funding to work with school for more days in a year. So this is the Gifoni School Experience is part of the light blue. And then another problem in red, over the past 5 years, public funding directed to the festival have decreased by almost 20%. For all the reasons that you can imagine. This blue is public from the from the region, Campania region, Europe region, Gifoni, other parties from the Ministry of Culture, and these are the 2 main public funding. The other slide, okay. Which type of partners? Commercial, obviously, public, city, region, and ministries, media partners. In the cake, the media partners are not there, because our media partners don't give us money, but they give us service. And we gave them contents, and they gave us visibility and service. So they are not in our budget. Our partnerships are established. Long-term relationships, absolutely. Personal contacts, public open calls, because we try to present projects to have funding. What we offer, visibility, content, absolutely, and combination of both, but above all content. We work on content. In the picture you see is a bags from with the FAMI. FAMI is part of is a program of the ministry dedicated to immigration, and we work with this part of the ministry organization, creating a workshop for children, but immigration, okay, so in which way? Oh, talking about music, poetry, writing. So through workshop of art, we work on this matter with children during the festival. And they like a lot the project. And this is a way we work with partners. They come to us with a goal. We create for them content that can attract the attention of the public, and in the same time then can be part of our programs. Because kids come to Gifoni, stay 10 days in Gifoni, they watch film, but they also take part in all these different activities. They can book what they like, because there is no place for everyone, but they can book with different workshops. And so we work a lot on this. And this is the way we try 5 minutes. Oh, it's perfect. Go on, the other. Another slide, please. We will never collaborate with gambling, alcohol, cigarettes, and other dangerous products. We have an informal code. We prefer partners who offer contents and not just advertising. But it's always clear what it contents versus what is marketing. We had to reject a major partner because they want to change our name, or because they sell products not for children. But one of the big no we had to say, because they asked to add their logo to our name, and we say no. We are just Gifoni Film Festival, not. Next. Decision maker, who makes this decision, is a group. I'm talking about budget, but I am a programmer, but I'm very old. I was a juror. I watched my first film at the festival when I was 5. I spent all my life in Gifoni. I have the same age of the festival. The problem is that I was born in November, but now we are in May, and I say I am 56 because I count the festival age, not my real age. So this group, this small group, are composed by people who grow up in the festival. So we know the festival very well. We try to do something better. So this is the group that decide all together. Next one. Another example of what we are trying to create to attract partner. This is a project we made with the Coop. Coop is a chain of shops, food shops. They try to involve, during the year, they try to involve schools in projects, and we create with them this program. the school have to create different production. The small one, a story. The kids from middle school have to create a screenplay, and so we create for them the contents to present this competition to school kids. And Gifoni will be the place when they will be awarded this year. And this is a concrete example of what we are trying to do to have other funds. Because we two people worked on this project, and all the money will go on the next festival edition. Next slide, please. What does not work? Pressure on public funding, sponsor competition and local limitations, short-term partnership. What works? Staff stability. This is the same secret, essentially. And the next one, this is the logo. Future strategy, what I have just said. Try to propose to the sponsor program, events, during all the year, trying to attract new energy and new funding. Above all, on our in which sector? Education. The last one, I think. This advice is not for you, it's for us. We are trying not to find another different kind of energy for our festival, because we know that the future will be worse on the public side. So we have to work harder and harder to find something different. It's not easy, we are really worried, but at the same time we are working night and day on this. It's okay? Oh, thank you.
Wait a minute.
For the first time.
Thank you, Antonia.
Thank you.
And I believe we will have time to discuss this more in detail in the panel and in the discussion afterwards. And I'm also thinking, maybe Marketa, can we share afterwards with each other the presentations? Yeah, because I think that might be useful for all of you. And now, yeah, if it's okay for you guys, yeah, that might be useful. And now let's hear from Justfilm with Jan Jonas Pevkur. Was the pronunciation okay?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Hello, my name is Jan Jonas Pevkur. I am the new head of Justfilm from this year. Justfilm was previously headed by Mikk Randström, who I'm sure quite a few of you know. And this year he decided that he has gotten too old and the festival needs young blood, and gave this job to me. And first of all, just thank you very much for having me here. It's been great. I just arrived yesterday evening and can't wait to experience Lynn more. But next slide, please. So Justfilm is a youth and children's film festival in Tallinn, Estonia. Estonia is next to Latvia and Lithuania and Finland, so in the Baltic states. We are in Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, and also a tiny bit in Tartu. And we are the biggest sub-festival of Black Nights Film Festival, and we were established in 2001. So last year we celebrated our 25th birthday. And Black Nights Film Festival is celebrating its 30th birthday this year. Yeah, just a few years after Black Nights was established, we came around. We have a new generation of young film lovers coming now for the first time, because we last year at the opening of the opening ceremony, a person came up to us and said that, oh, it looks so nice that I came here on the second edition of the festival, and now I'm bringing my own kid. So we are moving into a new stage in many ways. As I said, this is my first year leading the festival. In addition to that, we are getting a new generation and stepping into new grounds. Every year we have approximately 50 films in our program, 55 to be more correct. And then in addition to that, we have short films by young filmmakers up until the age of 19 that make up about 20-ish shorts every year. We're expanding on that this year, but more on that later. So approximately 55 features in different competition programs. So we have our youth competition program and our children competition program. Then in addition to that, we have a toddlers competition program meant for the smallest kids. Then we also have out-of-competition programs, a program called Children's Rights, which focuses on children with harder backgrounds and shining light on social issues. And every year we have approximately 18,000 visitors, or 18,000 cinema admissions then, which is about 20% of Black Nights Film Festival, a tiny bit less. So quite a big share of the people who go to Black Nights come to us because we are very much a sub-festival of BÖFF, we count those together. And here you can see our goals and what we want to achieve with the festival. So our vision is to inspire and educate in an open-minded society and to help young people discover themselves through film. We want to bring quality films to Estonian children and youth and to inspire a new generation of filmmakers and film lovers. And our values are togetherness, diversity, openness, and empathy. Next slide, please. So here you can see a share of our audience. I'd say that we're quite successful knowing that we're a youth and children's festival in actually getting young people to the cinemas, but our main attention is kids between the ages of, or until the ages of 25, and young people. In addition to that, of course, their parents, grandparents who come and visit with the lower two demographics. Then a lot of teachers, youth workers, everybody who sends the kid or comes together with the kids. Kindergartens who make up quite a big share of our festival as well, and then students. I'd say that the difficult part about this is that we must remain edgy and cool enough so that young people still want to come and visit us, while also being official as a film festival. So balancing that is something that, and figuring out how to exactly do that is something that we want to focus on in the next few years a lot. So yeah, with marketing, we focus on parents and teachers for the lower two parts of our audiences, so everything up until the age of 14. And then, as you can see, over 50% of our audiences are between the ages of 15 and 25. And for them, we focus on trying to get themselves to come to the cinema a lot. And everything above 25 to 20%, a lot of that is also just people who are visiting BÖFF, guests at BÖFF, since a lot of our films start screening from 10 a.m. in the morning, and BÖFF very rarely has screenings before 3 p.m. Then it's quite often that guests and film festival visitors come see our films in the morning because they have nothing else to do. And but it's great, and we always program films that would interest older people there as well. Next slide, please. So our issues with financial models are very similar to everybody else. I'll go over how it has changed in the last few years because it has changed a lot in a second. But 43% of our money comes through the culture ministry. It used to be much less, but I'll get to why in a moment. And this comes directly through BÖFF, or Black Nights Film Festival then. Because we just get a percentage of what BÖFF gets for themselves for our usage. It has been that like that forever, and we continue with that. And again, just to be clear, we work in the same office with BÖFF. We have almost all of our team members do something at BÖFF as well, so it's very much a sub-festival. Then the second biggest chunk is ticket sales. We have an agreement in place with cinemas for many years now that our ticket say revenue is split with the cinemas. So whatever say that the ticket costs €6, then €3 goes to the cinemas and €3 goes to us. 8.7% is by sponsors. I'll elaborate on that more later. Then 9.7% is by different ministries and social organizations backed by the state. That percentage has grown a lot over the last few years because we have included them more in our programs and dedicated screenings for them. But I'll get to that in a bit as well. Then Tallinn, the same thing, that it comes through BÖF. BÖF gets a sum of money from Tallinn, and we get a small percentage of that, and then 5% for others. This has changed quite a lot, especially the culture minister part. It used to be about 20% even last year. But this year, unfortunately, two of our major sponsors over the last few years or big projects stopped, and yeah, they just their projects for 10 years and they ended. So we talked with BÖF and agreed that the best solution currently is just to take more from the culture ministry from their cut, and then we're figuring out to every new sponsor that we get, we're essentially paying BÖF back. So our budget isn't increasing when we get a new sponsor, but rather we're just paying the money that we lended from BÖF for now back. And then a lot of the new money that we get, especially this year, is designated for specific projects already. In that, for example, we have a great partnership with a foundation Helping Kids, who focuses on bringing children and young people from the rural parts of Estonia to the cinemas. And from them we get a sum of money that we have to use for tickets for those specific people. So it's very difficult to find quote-unquote free money that we can use for ourselves, but rather we just get project-based money. And as you can see, well, essentially 60% of our money comes from the state or the town. And we want to be much more independent in that way, and we're working towards that. But as with everybody, it is quite difficult. Next slide, please. So here you can see the different things we offer to our partners. We have one main sponsor that currently is unfulfilled for this year. But I won't go over all of these separately, you can read them. But we offer structured offers to partners with very clear goals and objectives that will be attractive to them, because I won't again repeat myself or repeat others, but children and youth are an attractive target group for a lot of potential partners and sponsors. And yeah. For example, our head sponsor gets a competition program named after them, free tickets, VIP passes, brand stories, creative lounges, logos in cinemas, campaigns organized by us, contents by us for them, events, etc. And some of our public partners are ministries, Tallinn City Council, social organizations, and different regions of Estonia. Our commercial biggest partner is Swedbank, who I'll talk about more in a sec. But a lot of our commercial partners, again, are the same as BÖF, which is both good and bad, because they don't give necessarily money to us, but it helps BÖF organize the festival, which in turn helps us organize the festival. But at the same time, a lot of our potential sponsors are eliminated because BÖF won't allow us to go to their competitors. So for example, if say that Elisa, who is a streaming platform in Estonia and cellular provider, we can't go to another cellular provider, even though they may have more money, because they're a direct competitor. And our media partners include Delphi, and from this year we're also trying to work more with T-movies. Next slide, please. So our partnership ethics, again, we have the same red lines as everybody have mentioned: no gambling, alcohol, political organizations, unless it's for an even conversation where everybody can share their opinions. Alcohol brands, energy drinks, nicotine products, or anything considered harmful to children. And we have had no problems or scandals about transparency, but we always look at it closely and how and what we market and use to market. Because our internal decision making due to the fact that we have quite a small team. We bounce around all ideas amongst ourselves first, and then always with Black Nights Film Festival as well. We have meetings very often about sponsorships, partners, so that we don't clash. We all write to different partners. And we bounce ideas throughout there, and which helps because maybe someone has, that we just try to keep our own lanes, so to say. And then compromises. I guess the biggest thing that we have tried to figure out is that it's difficult to find long-term and big partners. And recently especially we have discussed that is it worth it to have many very small partners that give some sort of money, considering that we have to satisfy their needs as well. So this year especially, as I said, we're focusing more on different social organizations, but all of them, they all have some demands, they all want something from the festival back. So it's a difficult thing to balance because that's the easiest way to get money, and we really do need money right now. But at the same time, it's going to be hard and important to maintain that everybody gets what they need from the festival. Next slide, please. So as I said, Swedbank has been our major supporter for the last few years. And it's a partnership that works well due to a few facts. So Swedbank is the biggest bank in Estonia and one of the biggest banks in the Nordics. They've been our top tier presenter for a few years, and they get massive visibility throughout the festival. They're everywhere on our webpage, in the booklets. They get a trailer before the film. Our website has 74,000 visitors throughout the festival, and they get seen there right away. Plus, we have a mail list of 17,000 teachers where they get visibility as well. They get integration to regional school tours and traffic branding. And why does this work is that they have a strategic alignment with us. They also very much focus on young people, educating young people in terms of money, that not in the way that come to us and take a big loan from us, but in a way that how to be smart with your money, how to go around with it. They have a ton of free lectures that they do, etc. So they have similar interests in there. And they're an active partner. For example, our young filmmaker competition program, which started 4 or 5 years ago, was very much thanks to them, because we wanted a way to support young filmmakers, and they offered to support the scholarship program where young filmmakers up until the age of 19 send screenplays. We review them, we give them feedback, and we give a scholarship to some of them so that they can make the film and then come to Just Film with their film. So, for example, this is something that has grown over the last few years, and Swedbank has always had a seat on the jury in the competition there. But that's very welcome to us, because they have a few people who are huge film fans and huge fans of young people doing what they want. So they're very supportive and help us out. And throughout the festival, we organize events where they're present at all times. And this is a very repeatable thing. This is, for us, an almost ideal partner. But still, this year, or last year, sorry, we did quite a lot more things with them than in the past. But then when negotiating the deal for this year, they said that they can't increase the amount of money they give to us because of the difficult situation we're all in. So we have to do more while we still get the same amount of money, while our scope grows and our expenses grow. Next slide, please. So our biggest challenge currently, for sure, is the new guidelines from the Estonia's Ministry of Education. I could go on a 20-minute rant about that alone, but I'll try to keep it short. So essentially, the Ministry of Education wrote new guidelines that state that no children, it's prohibited for any children to pay for anything school-related, which includes going to culture places, cinemas, theaters, anything, and all of that is prohibited, which made a very, or paying for that, sorry, is prohibited, which put us in a very difficult situation. We made a public statement with 400 cultural organizations and a few hundred teachers in Estonia to the ministry, and we're currently, Mikk Randström, the previous head of Justfilm, is currently working with them to write a new guideline alongside other culture places. But it really did hit the culture side of Estonia really hard. For example, s.r.o, one of the biggest indie cinemas, had planned that they have 80 screenings for school groups from January to May, and they ended up doing 4 only because there was no interest. So it's a huge, huge problem, but we're working to make it work. In addition, we're releasing a fund where people can support freely, because donation-based, you can still donate to school groups or classes, but you can't make them pay for it. It's a big problem. I won't get too much into that, but yeah. Then the lacking cinema culture in Estonia in general, which we're trying to build again through the integrating young filmmakers and young people into the festival more. Lack of funds from state. As you saw, it's 60% of our budget currently, but again, it's very difficult to find partners, and even that, maybe the lack of funds from state goes more for Black Nights Film Festival, because their scope has grown very, very much over the last few years. They're growing very, very fast, but they're not getting any more money from the state, which means that they will have to start making cuts to our budget soon if we can't find more money ourselves. We have I'll try to be quick. We have a very small team, so year-round there's only 5 people working on Justfilm. We of course have more people that work when the festival gets closer, and a lot of our people are from Black Nights Film Festival as well. Then sponsors who are willing to provide services, not money, which is very, very common now. Sponsors who gave us money earlier are only giving services. We have very few, it's difficult to find new partners, and our dependency on both, if Black Nights has a very bad year or something very bad happens to them, then we're in a very bad situation as well. Next slide, which is also, I think, my last. Our future strategy, definitely getting more from Erasmus and Europe funds. I think that's the biggest area we want to grow in. For that, we're already writing programs about film education, which is also something that we want to work on. Then at least 1 or 2 more year-round team members, which would help divide the tasks so that no one gets too overwhelmed or stuck with small things. Getting young people to come to cinema more by themselves. And also last year, for the first time, we had only premieres in our youth competition, international or world, and we want to do the same for children's competition, but that's a few years away. And then growing the industry side of Justfilm. What has worked for us really well is discussions after film and study materials that we provide with the film. So a very quick example, we have Narko.ee, which is like our local institution working on drug prevention and harm reduction, who joined us this year. And while they may not give us money, they make study materials based on a specific film that they get the screener for a film, and then based off of that, they make study materials that people can take to schools. And in addition, they'll come to a screening to do a post-film discussion with the people in the cinema. And then the young filmmaker growth, the competition where we have filmmakers up until the age of 19, that has grown really well, and both in quantity and quality of the films and filmmakers, which has been great to see, because we are growing the next generation of filmmakers and film lovers. Yeah, next slide. And to end, I have a few pictures from our festival last year. And yeah, next slide. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you very much. And you can stay here with us for the discussion already. So let me welcome here again Jarmila and Antonia for the discussion. Maybe you can keep the headphones. I think, yeah, that would be better. All of you, I guess. I'm going to speak in English, but you all have your headphones. Okay. Good. Well, first of all, thank you for your presentations and for all the know-how you shared with us. I have my questions prepared, but I would like to ask first, is already here anything that like caught your attention, know-how, idea, anything that you would like to talk about right now with each other?
I think that,
Yeah, please use the...
Yeah, I think that one thing from Gifloni that stood out was that you have opportunities where parents can come and drop their children to a cinema and then leave them there, and they'll have their day filled, which sounds great. And it's something that in our feedback as well, we often get that parents like the films, but say that it would be nice to have some like additional where they can just leave their children and do. So maybe that's something we'll try out this or next year as well. That even for one day, for example, throughout the festival, that you can take your kid there and they'll have activities and can work on that like that.
This is something that works because we know one of the main topics in these days in Italy is not the politics, is not the war, is not the crazy world we live in, but are the closing of schools. Italian parents are apparently desperate because they don't know where to put their kids. Because Italian schools are closed from 5, the last days is for the primary, middle, and high school is from 5 June until 15 September. Obviously, for teachers, it's obvious why. Not because teachers are tired, but because Italian school has no air conditioning. We now, at the moment in Italy, we have 30 degrees. So you can imagine that it's impossible for kids to stay in school in these conditions. And so for many parents, for working parents, it's a big problem. Summer schools are expensive. And so a lot of regions are trying to help parents, giving funding to schools to remain open and to organize other activities. And so in this scenario, imagine the last week of July, you pay 15 euros, because this is and for the small one, I think it's 30 euros, something like that. And you have the opportunity to take your kids to the festival, and they spend with us at least 2.5 hours in theater, because we have to count the time of screening, the debates with the director, another activity, and then you can, the kids can participate to workshop and so on. So this is something that works really well, because parents need time for them in such a way. And during this time, we have another section dedicated to parents. The first name of the section was Parent Control. We said to kids, don't worry, we will control your parents. They will stay with us safe in a theater, so you can enjoy your movies. Your parents will be with us, we will, sure. And this is working, because and we had another, in the last, I think from the COVID, we have a space, a room for parents who needs to work, because they have smart working and they are professional of some kind. So while the kids are in the theater, parents can work in a space of the festival. And so we during the year, we have to change and create new opportunity because of our audience. It's really different from other festivals.
So am I getting it correctly, and might it be also a route for our Zlín Festival and also for you, that the festival becomes, and I'm just going to say it in like a very abstract way, don't take it too seriously, but that the festivals are also becoming something like not a social care service, you know, but is that also an important part of that and getting the money and actually, you know, getting more partnership and sponsors?
Ano, určitě je. A my vlastně pracujeme také v létě, chystáme a míváme nějaké příměstské tábory, to ano, ale ne takto, jak Gifony, kdy to tam opravdu je úplně na tomhle postavené, ale to jsou v našem případě jsou to jakoby spíše dílčí aktivity. Ale vlastně my, tím, jak jsem hovořila o tom našem nekomerčním vstupném, tak to je ta naše vlastně nejvíc otevřenost těm návštěvníkům. A tím se snažíme balancovat právě tu různorodost těch sociálních skupin, které jsou. A vlastně k nám přijíždí i spousta dětí z dětských domovů a tady z těch organizací prostě přivádí. A to je ta další cesta k těm partnerům. Protože někteří partneři, v letošním roce jsou to 3, kteří s námi jsou vlastně drobně, ale hlavně jenom proto, že sem přivezou svůj partnerský dětský domov, který podporují a já to trošičku odvádím jinam, ale vlastně ne, je to cesta k těm obchodním partnerům. Jako je to nějaká možnost zase něco, co se těm partnerům dá nabídnout, že děti, které nejsou úplně v těch rodinách nebo nemají úplně, ten jejich život není úplně jednoduchý, tak firmy se o ně starají, podporují a my jim dáváme další možnost. Přivезte je sem na festival, je to pro ně zase další zážitek a zpestření té spolupráce, že to není potom z jejich strany postavené pouze na finanční. A tohle je pro ně zajímavé. A co se týká vlastně takových těch aktivit, mě zase na druhou stranu velmi jsem se vrátila k tomu, že jsem někde dříve, když jsem pracovala, jsme měli přesně projekt regionálních projekcí. My máme po festivalu také jednu vlastně 3denní regionální štaci, to je tady v takovém krásném, na Jižní Moravě, v krásném městě Mikulov. A vlastně teď se bavíme o tom, že chceme pokračovat na ten podzim v dalších lokalitách. Ono je to jak cesta k těm divákům, k propagaci festivalu, ale je to také cesta k tomu, jak získat další komerční partnery anebo uspokojit ty nadnárodní společnosti, které se nám podařilo k festivalu dovést. Tak je samozřejmě nezajímá pouze ten festival jako takový a ta lokalita, ale zajímají je další aktivity v průběhu celého roku a také to, že to není místní akce nebo lokální, regionální akce, ale že má přesahy a mohou s nimi pracovat také ke svým jiným pobočkám, vlastně, které mají po celé republice. Takže to celoroční putování potom je ta cesta partnerovi, cesta k divákovi, ale také zase může vytvářet prostor na to, jak získat prostředky pro financování toho týmu a tím ten tým mít, ale i ten produkční tým, protože není to jenom o těch, kteří připravují program, což je prostě obrovský balík a hromada práce, ale aby ten festival potom byl schopný zaklapat jako v té realizaci, tak je potřeba mít také velmi kvalitní produkční tým a ten produkční tým pro ten potřebujete ho udržet a musíte ho z něčeho financovat a musíte ho, a teď to řeknu, a teď to nemyslím špatně, pořád držet jako v procesu, to znamená jako pořád, aby dělali tu svoji práci, takže aby to tak potom na konci zacvakalo, tak je dobré mít pro ně i tyhle v průběhu roku realizační aktivity. Produkčně realizační aktivity. A ty regiony, nebo tady ty realizace v regionech si myslím, že to mohou hodně přispět. A je to cesta tedy na všechny strany. Je to jako win-win.
Jan, you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I quickly wanted to comment on 2 things. One thing that I forgot to mention that we also definitely want to work on more is the year-round activities and screenings. And for example, we just yesterday there was a screening. We started a collaboration with the local film museum where we screen some films that have been really successful in the past few years from Just Film there. And especially we did it in the end of May because, you know, school groups don't want to stay in school. All of the studying is done already. And yeah, we're going to meet up with them as soon as I get back to see how it went and everything. And then one more thing about the orphanages and helping out people in more difficult and young people in more difficult situations. One thing that we started doing last year is that, especially for screenings with guests that have not been sold out or that we see the previous evening that there's still like half of the tickets are left. We started offering those for free to orphanages and institutions for children with a difficult background, for example. And we want to continue that this year for sure, because, you know, for us it's it would be empty seats otherwise. It's good for the festival, the visibility, and the guests, and also for them, because, you know, when we don't know when they have a chance to go see a movie and see like guests in the cinema as well, especially. So that's something that we want to continue this year and do even more of.
Yeah, maybe more of a communication-based and styled question is how to turn an ordinary partner into like the main partner, someone you can really like rely on throughout the years. I think Jan made quite a good example with the sweat bank, but how to evolve this relationship from something that starts maybe very, very small, but then turns into something that can last, not forever, but you need the support for at least a couple of years to go on with the festivals. Is there a know-how for that or not?
Na to asi není know-how. Snažit se prostě nevymýšlet něco, co neumíte splnit. Prostě opravdu, já si myslím, že dlouhodobý vztah je to opravdu o té důvěře. O tom, že na čem se domluvíme, tak se to prostě snažíme udělat. A nezametáme věci pod koberec. Když se něco děje a nedaří, tak prostě rovnou vpřed. Prostě nepovedlo se. Ale vlastně takový základ té naší filozofie, tady toho týmu, se kterým mám tu čest pracovat, je prostě řešíme problémy. Problémy jsou, je to festival, vždycky se něco může stát, ale základ je to, abychom se snažili ty věci řešit, protože samozřejmě pokud partner s vámi být nechce a už s tím do toho vstupuje, že to prostě tak vždycky můžete někoho chytit na čemkoliv, ale ta otevřenost té spolupráce, ta komunikace už v samotné době přípravy, to si myslím, že je základ. A potom při té realizaci, když se něco neúplně daří nebo něco musíme měnit v průběhu, tak se snažíme s těmi obchodními partnery a podporovateli komunikovat ty věci. Buď pokud to jde předem, pokud to nejde, tak ale jdeme tomu dopředu, jdeme tomu naproti. Jo, takže prostě nevyšlo to, prostě hledáme tohle řešení nebo máme tohle alternativní řešení a podobně, ale celé je to opravdu na tom neslibovat prostě co už předem víme, že nejde udělat, tak tyhle věci určitě jako touto cestou my nejdeme. Takže prostě fair hra, pak to může začít fungovat a může z toho vzniknout ta důvěra a z toho potom to víceleté partnerství. Je to jenom o práci a o komunikaci.
I'm actually thinking that, for example, Gifoni might be attracting a lot of partners and sponsors because of the stars you actually get there, the people that comes. But you can never 100% rely on those stars coming to the festival.
Absolutely not. No, and we don't use the stars for the sponsor because the stars who come in Gifoni come free. We don't pay the stars to come. We just offer them the opportunity to meet a young audience, maybe to build their future audience. I don't know, but and the place, the hospitality, because obviously we are lucky because Gifoni is a very small village, common village, but we are very close to the Amalfi Coast. So this is our card,
it's
secret.
Beautiful there.
Secret weapon. So we just show them the Amalfi Coast, offer them a wonderful hotel, a wonderful boat, promote, and they are treated as stars, just this. So absolutely we can't, and we don't want to say to a sponsor, oh, you will take a picture with the stars. Yeah. Absolutely not. This is another reason why our cake is not so balanced. It happens that we have dinner all together, and it happens that Italian actors are at dinner, and one of the sponsors asks for a picture. If the Italian actor say yes, you can have the picture, but this is never in our contract. What we offer is meeting the audience, offer something to the audience, and this audience will remind you if you are good with them, if your proposal, the program you propose is interesting. We are sure that kids will remind them. And this is also the reason why we have, for many, many years, some sponsor like I don't remember. CIAL is in Italy. There are groups in charge of recycling of materials, and they have to promote the recycling with young generation. So we have this partner for many years. Or another partner that was in Gifoni for many years was Chupa Chups. And why I remember this partner? Because we worked with them for many, many years, and our relationship ended for reasons that are not connected with the festival. Because Chupa Chups changed the agency, the promoting agency, and this agency decided to change completely their politics. So whatever... Imagine, I have a new job, I want to show that I'm good, I'm better, I change everything. Because the first thing you do is cancel what people before you did, so you show that you make something different. And this is something that a festival can do nothing about this. And with the CIAL was almost the same. It's different, but it's not our fault, because all this organization depends on one big organization, and where the big is present, no one of the smaller can be present. So they change politics, so the big agency is in Gifoni, but in a different way, in a smaller position. And we can do nothing because they are their internal politics. So you can say, oh, it's my fault, I have to change something. No, sometimes you can do anything at all. And this is something that you have to face and try to partnership.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that is also a topic we will discuss later on in the Q&A and in the panel. How to treat a partnership after it stopped or ended, because it can always come back probably in other forms. So now let's please take a break for a moment, and we will be back in around 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Já už budu mluvit. Super. Okay, great, everyone. Let's get to the other part of the conference, or our little family gathering and meeting. to share more experience, take your coffee, take your snacks, to enjoy the other part. And yeah, we will try to go on, and we will start with a presentation from the Cinekid Festival. And please let me welcome Berle Smith.
So, hello everyone. I'm Berle Smith from Cinekid Festival in the Netherlands. And first of all, I want to thank the Slin Festival for inviting us here together. It's such a nice experience, and it's inspiring to connect. So first, a little bit about myself. I'm not very long at Cinekid Festival, so I work there for almost 1 year now and still learning about the flow of the festival. Before, I was a fundraiser at the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, so I have some fundraising experience and was advisor to a very big cultural foundation in the Netherlands. So, about Cinekid Festival, next slide please. It's located in the Netherlands. Our main location is in Amsterdam, but we also have 40 locations throughout the Netherlands and Curaçao. Children are aged between 4 and 14 years old. That's our target audience, and we have around 60,000 visitors during the festival, and even more throughout the year with year-round programs. And we started in 1986, so it means we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, so it's going to be a big party. And can you show, I wanted to show a little clip about Cinekid and the way we tell our narrative. So it's in Dutch, but we have like YouTube.
Bouwen, breken, bewegen, vloggen. Wow. Verzinnen wat er nog niet is. Tekenen met licht, monteren met lijm. Geen regels. Geen script. En actie. Alleen wat wij bedenken. Wij zijn Cinekid. We zijn tijdreizigers, avonturiers, grensverleggers. We zijn dromers, ontdekkers, makers. Hij is een Cinekid, zij is een Cinekid. En die twee daar, zij ook. Word ook een Cinekid. Ontdek deze herfstvakantie een wereld vol films, series, games en verwondering tijdens Cinekid Festival. Leukste film- en mediafestival voor kinderen.
The children in this clip are a part of our junior crew, and I think it's very big part of our narrative because the junior crew is a group of 20 children divided into age categories, and they are part of our crew, of our team, and help us making our programs. They test games, they see clips, films, and they made this marketing clip. So it's very nice to have this perspective of youth in our program making moments. And I think that's also very important for Cinekid. We take children very serious. We take our audience very serious. And we want them to be creative. We want to be curious and critical thinkers. And that's very strong narrative of Cinekid. Next slide, please. Just a short about Cinekid. We have like 4 parts of Cinekid. We have, of course, films and series with Dutch premieres of hundreds of international films at the festival, film screenings, and, of course, nomination and awards with a big award ceremony during the festival. We also have our media lab, and it's actually very popular right now. And it's an exhibition of immersive art, art installations. We do this with a lot of artists, upcoming artists as well, and students, and they make immersive experience with AI, VR, and AR. And it's like a playground for makers, but also a playground for children, learning about these new media. And it's like, we have hands-on workshops with them, skill building about it, and they can play the latest games. So it's very cool to see these new developments. Next slide, please. I will change the order. We have the education department. We have a lot of educational activities during the Syndicate Festival, such as workshops, talks, and interactive side programs, but also a big, it's not mentioned here, but a big school program. So 1 week in front of the festival, we invite a lot of schools over and have a specific program for them. But we also have a year-round school program and reach a lot of children. And we have collaborations with social and cultural partners. And we want to encourage creativity and critical thinking among children and young people, our narrative again. Then, of course, we have the Syndicate for Professionals. It's an international industry event. It's a 3-day event at the main location in Amsterdam. And we have professionals from over 40 countries visiting us. We have talent programs, industry forum. And next slide, please. I wanted to show you a little clip about the professionals program, where it's very clear that we take the children serious, put them next to the professionals, and make them critical thinkers.
It's been really, really cool to be here. I mean, I walked in and the number of kids and families running around looking at work was really overwhelming.
I actually have a lot of fun. Usually film festival crowd are like very serious.
Vaak kom je op industry events die heel ver afstaan van de publieke. Hier lopen de kinderen letterlijk en kruipen ze letterlijk rondom je door.
Leerrijk. En daar zijn die ronde tafelgesprekken ideaal voor. Er wordt een korte presentatie gegeven, maar dat er dan ook echt ruimte is om zaken te vragen, om dingen te discussiëren. Ontzettend fijn.
Ja, kijk, we zitten natuurlijk allemaal op een bepaalde manier in een eigen bubbel. En ik denk dat het vooral heel goed is om als maker je voortdurend af te vragen welke jas je aan hebt. Ja, ik denk dat we een grote verantwoordelijkheid hebben als maker om jongeren een zo breed mogelijk beeld van de maatschappij en van de wereld te geven. Als je eigenlijk polarisatie als een soort eng ver weg houdt, dan zeg je eigenlijk dat jij zelf geen onderdeel daarvan bent, terwijl we zijn er allemaal onderdeel van.
Really cool that Syndicate brought not a media professional for the keynote, but an academic, a thinker about the future. And I think a lot of it was super relevant for people like me that are, creators in the media industry.
Het begint bij de jongeren. En door wat ik geleerd heb en gezien heb en gelezen heb, ben ik nu wie ik nu ben. En dat
Thanks Syndicate, thanks publicum.
Ik heel graag deel 2 krijg.
Dus ik denk dat het daarom heel fijn is dat we met dit bedrag die internationale partners kunnen betrekken bij het project.
I'm very happy and very proud.
We tell our professionals that they have a big responsibility and they make impact on our youth, and that's something that's part of our narrative again. So our foundations, our partners, our funds. I think the focus at Syndicate is on foundations and on governmental support. You can see on the left, it's the Ministry of Education, Culture and Sciences, and it's like almost 50% of our income is from them, from the Dutch government. But we have a lot of other foundations as well, including the City of Amsterdam, including Creative Europe, but also private foundations that help us do projects for the children. This is now our focus and something we're very strong and very good at. And we want to make the other partners, like media partners and corporate partners, we want to make it stronger. I'm almost a year at Syndicate and I'm trying to create a strategy for this. But this is something I think is working very well at this moment. Next slide, please. We have, of course, media partners we're already working with. We have location partners because we have 40 locations throughout the Netherlands, which helping us make our program. And next slide, please. We have a lot of other partners. There are corporate partners, but also institutes who help us with our professionals program. Next slide. It's a lot. And next slide, please. I think it's a different approach in between foundations, government support, and media partners and corporate partners, because for foundations and for government support, the narrative is very important, social impacts, and the way you stand in the region, if this is natural or this is in the city or like in your neighborhood. So it's a different way of talking than when you talk to corporate partners or media partners, where it's more about the brand, more about visibility, and more about audience reach. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about our focus right now, so the foundations and the government support, and how we go into these relationships with them. So next slide, please. I think it's very important while connecting with the foundation, there are a few key factors. So again, the narrative, the Syndicate narrative, who are we, and the social impact you make, why are you in this world? And then there is a very important thing, and it's called collaboration and conversation. So not only apply on open calls, but as well as building a relationship and creating programs together in conversation, get together around the table and talk to each other. How can we strengthen each other and each other's goals? So I wanted to show you 2 examples. This is our Syndicate and Bolleboze with Jeff, the film festival in Belgium. We have a very nice inflatable cinema, and it can travel around the country and show movies and have a program around it for children around the Netherlands. But it's actually quite expensive to set up this inflatable thing and have a team around it. And besides that, we want to reach target schools with limited access to cultural experiences who find it difficult to come to our festival, and that's why we can travel to them with our inflatable cinema. So we found 2 partners, Bolleboze. It's actually a foundation from a corporate partner whose goal is to have an educational focus on reading enjoyment and language development. And we also have a partner, the Jeugd Educatiefonds. It's a foundation who helps us with contacts of the target schools. So it's a nice three-way partnership. And we travel around the Netherlands every year. It's a multi-year partnership because we build every year to make it even bigger and to create even stronger program. And the Bolleboze donates even 441,000 books to the children. They receive tickets to the cinema festival. So it's a really nice way of combining those partnerships and like goals together. So the narratives of all the partners are there, the social impact is there, it's a strong program. A next example is Syndicate and Amarte Foundation. This is a foundation that actually gives money to makers, to creators. And we went to talk to Amarte Foundation and we were like, okay, so you give money to makers, but we have an exhibition. We have an art exhibition during our festival with immersive installations, and we want new, innovative installations at this exhibition. So maybe we can work together and see how we can strengthen each other. So we created an open call, the Amarte Syndicate open call, where 2 makers get the we select 2 makers or collectives, and they can present 2 installations at the Syndicate Festival. They create it together with the Syndicate Junior crew, so they can test it with our Junior crew. And it's actually very interesting to see how we can showcase new immersive work at our festival, but at the same time help makers and give them money to make their art. So again, it's the narrative and the social impact of both partners together, making a strong program, a multi-year program actually, and every year we evaluated this. And for example, this year we saw that installations didn't get enough money to make it more sustainable, to travel to other festivals or other partners. So we discussed it with the Amartya Foundation, and they gave us more money to give to the makers to create even more sustainable installations. Next slide, please. So I think that's something for us that's giving us like strong programs. Still always know what's your narrative, what do you want, why are you in this world, and make a strong connection with your with the other organization. If it's a foundation, it's the government, it's a regional, local partner. It's always important to connect, talk to each other, collaborate, instead of asking for money. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Verla. And you still have 5 minutes to go. So, no.
I was quick.
You don't have to add anything else, but thank you for being brief and on time. Thank you. And we will also have the next part, the last one of the festivals with us, and we will have from the Schlingel Festival, and I'm not going to say it in the American way, but I'm going to say Michael. Is it right? Yeah, is it right? Because I could say Michael. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining what I want to tell. So, yeah, I'm Michael Habauer, or Michael in English. I founded a film festival called Schlingel 31 years ago. And maybe you can press once the button. Nobody was waiting for making a film festival in a town called Chemnitz. It was the opposite side. It was no cinema there. So, and I was moving to the town, and I had my opinion that I was going to the cinema all Sundays, and I was watching films, and I would like to give the kids in this region the same opportunity to do it. And so I try to find some friends, and then to try to develop a little bit the festival. And so here it's written in 1996, it was the first edition, and we had already, in the last few years after the pandemic, we had always a little bit like 10% of the inhabitants of the town in competition with the Berlinale. We are better, comparing with the percentage, I mean. And we have around 200 films each year in our festival. What it means, 100 feature films and 100 short films. And up to 600 professionals, half of them coming from our own country, from the different states, and the other ones, filmmakers and festivals and so on. And we are doing not only the film festivals themselves, so we are trying also, like most of the other festivals, to do something around the year. Maybe you can press the next one, Garrick. And wait. And here you have a cake. Okay, that was one too much, Garrick. It's okay. No, it's done. It's done. Okay. Yeah, I would like to ask you, could you imagine how it goes in percentage? So, one, it's very important for us. It looks a little bit on the left side the same for all the years. It means that we get around 30% of our budget from the Free State of Saxony and 20% from the city of Chemnitz. And always when we are falling down under the 20% of the town, our budget going lower, really lower. It means that we get the money from the city and from the Free State of Saxony to get another money as second euro. When we give €1, then we get €2 back or €4 back. This is often like the system what we're using. The money what we get from the city and from the Free State of Saxony is not committed to a certain point. So it's money what we can can, not gambling, but we can try to get some extra money and we bring our money inside. And always when we are losing the point with 20%, then we lose not only this money from the city, we lose also some extra money. And it's very important for us that we can stay in this way with minimum 50%. When we're talking about the 30% from the private sources, it is raising up against the 20% from the another funds. But we are getting more and more money from privates, and also we are distributing films, and the money from distributing the films inside Germany is going more and more. And the income there, it's, I think, the double in the last 5 years. And so maybe that is explaining, and the other ones, the 20%, it's going a little bit less about we have to talk always, and we have to find new sources, and we have to maybe always 1-year contracts, and you never know, is it going on for the next year or not? And so we are, with this system, we are at the moment, I think, in a good position, and maybe it's a good example to survive for the future, but maybe I tell you later a little bit more. Coming to the next one. Now you can, Here, when we are talking about partnerships and commercial partners, it means, in our case, each of them, like all the festivals before, are talking, they're doing something not about a festival, they are doing something to make them visible somewhere. And so we have always to find a unique selling point for them. It's happened in our festival. And for an example, the Chamber of Industry and Commerce is IHK in German. That one was the first sponsor. They said, we want to arrive not only the kids in your city, we want to arrive the kids in the region. And there you have to know that when we are talking about Chemnitz in the area, we have around 250,000 inhabitants in the city and 1 million in the region. And region means, in this case, that we have 50 kilometers in each direction, and then we can collect this 1 million. So it's village by village by village by village around Chemnitz. And so we got the chance to get them and to have some screenings in cinemas over there, and also some activities. Garrick, yeah. Public partners, I told before, most important, the Saxon State Ministry for Science, Culture and Tourism. This is very interesting in this case. About we have the State Chancellery is also supporting us, but for different points. And the city of Chemnitz, they are only supporting us for the things happen in Chemnitz, not in the surrounding area. Media partners, they are also partners for the distribution of films. So we are going together with the MDR, the regional public broadcaster, and the Kika is just like, I think in Czech Republic you have the same. You have a regional channel, a television channel just for children and youth, and they need dubbing versions of films, and we are making these dubbing versions happen after our festival, that we can give kids in other regions access to the film screenings about this kind of overvoice system what we have during the festival. It's not possible to move to other towns. It looks like a cheap dubbing version for people they are going in contact the first time with a film not from America and not from Germany. And so this kind of dubbing version standard, we need to attract them to watch a film from Bangladesh or from Poland or whatever. Yeah, education and cultural partners. Most important for us at the beginning was a lot of talks to the schools. And this also, you have to find a unique selling point. And for me was, when I'm inviting a teacher coming to the cinema and watching a film, he get always some question marks from his colleagues what he has to do with the classes. They are not going to the cinemas. They need a substitute for the teacher for him going to the cinema. He must get the substitute for him in the lesson in the school class. And so we were trying to find out the system, how we can find a way to make it happen that you don't need a substitute in this case. And so we are inviting the whole school to come and make a school film day. And we are providing for each class different films, 2 in a row. So one film, then some activities, and then a second film. So we fill a full day for them. And so up to 2,000 kids from one school coming at the same time to the school, and the school is to the cinema, and the school is closed. And so no substitute, and also the teacher for chemistry and so on, they are in the cinema and enjoying the films. That is important for us. This as an example for education and culture partners. And also on the other side, when we are talking about film festival and film institutions, we are part of the Screen the Future networks together with other festivals, like we have this presentation right now. We are in an exchange with the other festivals to find the best practice models to develop ourselves and to help to develop all the other festivals. Garrick, maybe you can go to the next one. Yeah, at the beginning of a festival, you think, okay, you have arrived the standard that people can come and joining you, and maybe some institutions calling and saying, you're working for a film festival for children, could be interesting. No, it's not happened. All these things are coming only through the private context what you have. And you have to join some events where you're regular not going when you are having a children film festival, but there maybe you can meet some person and talking with this person about his own childhood and how often he was in the cinema, and is he remembering the films what he have seen, and then you get the point you can tell it's important also for the kids right now about everybody remember the films from the childhood. And so this is our way to get in contact, and this is also the way what we can offer. And the third point, Garrick, we have, when at the beginning we were talking a lot about ethics, but this is a little bit complicated when you're building a wall in front of you. Each of you before said you don't inviting a partner from alcohol side things, but I know Celine has Slibowitz for a longer time, also as one of the partners, and we have a brewery from our region, not for the kids, but we have one evening event there to bring all the adult world together and to talk about the actual films and upcoming ideas and so on. And it's really one of the important events, and some accredited people's coming to us and asking, which day are you going to the brewery this year? So it's important also to have not such kind of walls or borders in your own perspective. Maybe not to show to the kids is very important, but not to have this in front of you. But we don't want to tell kids about, or we don't want to bring kids directly in contact with some products that we don't do. Okay. Best practice, I was telling a little bit before about the IHK, or the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. It was a very quick established partnership, but it was at the beginning, we don't know the systems are really behind them. But this kind of partnership is so helpful for us about they have local people working in the area, and they are promoting in schools our program. And it's really true. They have all the owners of factories, they are member of this IHK. And these owners, they have children, and they are visiting the cinemas in the region. And this is so helpful for us that we can work together with them, that we are arriving all the smaller companies in the area around Chemnitz through them, that we really had, after 1 year of an experiment, we had the contract extended for the next 2 years, and now we are going on to work for the next 5 years. So better it cannot be for us in the moment for that. As a best practice example, this is maybe a photo in Schwarzenberg. Maybe nobody knows the town, but yeah, it's a tiny town with 15,000 inhabitants. Garrick, the next one. Yeah. When I'm telling you before that I'm trying to find a distribution inside Germany for foreign films, Then Schlingel has also the other side, and it's very important for the German film industry for children that we find some possibility to bring German films abroad. And this means in Europe it's organized, everybody knows the ways to get the films he want, but outside of Europe not. And so we developed 3 unique points where we are doing it by our own together with the Goethe Institute and German Films. And it means in Tashkent we are present since 13 years already. And inside this 13 years is not just to develop a program for kids and presenting the German films there, it's presenting German culture. And Tashkent is just the basement always, and we are going around to Kazakhstan, to Kyrgyzstan, to Tajikistan, we were in this year, and it's going to educate them and to find some possibility to make it happen that they want to go more in contact with the German culture in the future. So also to have this immigration thing in your head. This is also behind this idea to bring the films there. Then the possibility to go to Havana. It was developed with my friend Josep Abiol. He left already, but with him together we were walking through Havana and we were thinking where we can make a bridge between Europe and the Latin American world. And it was never happened somewhere, and so we decided to ask in Havana for collaboration, and so the Spanish and the German embassy and the Mexican embassy, I must say, mainly they are paying and giving us some resources to make it happen that we can have a bridge between Europe and Latin American world there. And since 3 years we are doing it also in the United Emirates, mainly Abu Dhabi, but also Dubai and also Oman. It's interested to do something, and this is open not only for German-speaking films. This year we are inviting 2 films, one from the Netherlands to go with us and one from Lithuania to go with us, and it should be coming more and more European. This is the idea here behind. That are the 3 projects we are doing alone. But we have also the possibility to bring some German films to film festivals for children outside of Europe, like the Biki Film Festival in Korea or Kineko in Tokyo or in Chile, or the Pescado, so on. We are working with a lot of festivals together, and if you want to join, you can please contact us. Then it would be great to have a wider perspective. Gerrit, to the next one, and this is one, how I can say, in the pandemic time, it was happened that you had the world premiere of a film, and this film was disappearing after screening in Chemnitz. About the media reaction was not so international you could expect. And so I was coming up with the idea, why not inviting the colleagues of mine to a club or festival to watch the films in our program, and to make something happen that you announce at the end, a film should appear worldwide. And we do it in 3 different sections, one in children, one in junior, and one in youth. And after the pandemic, we are in the lucky position as most of the other festivals sending a delegate to us to come and to watch the films together and to talk to each other about the films. This is the club or festival working, and also if some festival here want to join the club, please contact us. This could be nice to grow also in this way. Okay, challenges. Yeah. I think it's the same situation in every country, that public funds are not so strong than before. And the themes what we are talking, they are more strong about the children and the education of the children. And so this is not always really matching, but it's a strong combination to bring all these possibilities together and give these problems a little bit away. Most important for the challenges behind is that you have a team in your house where you can trust, and to have open eyes and open ears to find out which are the new possibilities to make a bit more stabilism happen inside the festival. And when you're thinking about you making a film festival the last 30 years, then you arrive at a stage where you can be sure that it will be happen for the next 20. It's not true. So, and that's why it's always a challenge, and it's, yeah, I think I tell also a little bit like the future strategy at the same moment, and maybe you would like to have a sneak inside a little trailer of the festival, then we have the chance to do it right now. Yeah, thank you so much. And when you're thinking about some advice for the future, it could be this. Thank you.
Should you put the mic on? Yeah. Yeah, and Mike, please, Michael, stay with us here, and let me invite Vedla here with us. Thank you again. Thank you for those presentations. Thank you for sharing with us everything you've learned so far. Of course, for Vedla, it's quite a new thing. Is it right? And maybe first of all, let me start with a question connected to your festivals being deeply rooted in the cities you are based in. Is the location also a big part of that when it comes to, you know, taking care of the funding and looking for partners?
I mean, where are you located? It's very important for sponsors and so on.
Yeah.
That's really true. And I told before that nobody was waiting for a festival in Chemnitz. It took around 10 years that the city was recognizing something has happened. After that, yes, of course, and last year in the year that Chemnitz was the European Capital of Culture, so it was really a very great attention. And at this year, the city was learning that they are not alone. They have a region around, and so this was for us the possibility to make it more open, to have some screenings outside and to go to the region. How I can say, for sponsors, they want to give some attention to a unique event at the end. This is often what also the public funds doing. In the past, they want to give a basement, but it's not happening anymore. Now it's more, they want this eventism, I can say. This is more important for all of them, also for public funds.
What it's like for your festival?
I think you can make a big social impact when you partner with local foundations or local partners, because then you reach into the smaller neighborhoods, or you reach children like at home. So it's very interesting to have projects locally. But we have 40 locations throughout the Netherlands, and we want to work together with those locations, and they know more about their area than we do. So it's like always interesting to see how we can make the most impact, and therefore have a narrative, and then you can connect partners to this narrative and this impact.
Michael, if I got this thing from your presentation correctly, there might be partners that might be present at the kids and youth film festivals that with maybe products that are not like completely meant for the kids, but maybe meant for their parents and for their grandparents and stuff. But you still have to decide where you draw the line. Could you maybe talk about that a little?
Yeah, we don't present products in front of the kids. Each product is not possible for us. We don't want to do it. And this is about how I can say it, we don't want to manipulate the kids. When we want to manipulate them with our films, but not with some products around. And this is one of our main core, what we want to show. But you can have some surroundings, you can have some commercial, like everywhere you have it maybe a little bit closer, but not to give some food or some drink or something to them directly.
But how do you actually decide, when it comes to the visibility and when actually doing the deal with them? Is that something where the deal might actually not happen because they find out that they will not be as visible as they probably wished? Is visibility an important thing, or is it more of the partner or the sponsor becoming a part of the festival, like for example being on the jury as we heard?
At the beginning, they want to have visibility and they're asking how they can get, and everyone wants to have a trailer before the film and thinking this is the most important stage, but it isn't. So you have a lot of possibilities where you can, with making pedagogical, pedagogical leaves or something together with them. So a lot of possibilities you have, but not just to show a trailer. So when they are more in contact and when they are feeling what the festival is, then they are enjoying also. And this is the most important step. At the first you can talk and talk and talk, but if they are not enjoying what they are doing with you together, then you lose them after 1 year or maybe after the second year. And this is always going along with how I can say, going along with the possibility to have also, in our case, some regional elements inside. So we are a film festival dedicated for children and youth, but if a film shoot in our region dedicated to adult audience, we want to show it about the filmmakers coming out of the region, and we want to show that this kind of film products has also a place inside our small environment, what we are creating for a short time, that you can go in contact with international filmmakers and so on. And on the other hand, the people want to see also the local filmmakers. And so that's why we are doing. So we getting the adults together with the kids.
Is this experience any similar?
I think because our focus now is more on government support and foundations, we don't have to think that much about visibility, and something we need to make stronger. The strategy has to become better for us, to become more of a place where you can show your partner. But I think it's also a conversation with your partner, and it's not only about visibility, but also what you can bring them, for example, for their, how do you say this? For their employees, for example, maybe you can arrange tickets for children for employees, stuff like that. So it's more than only visibility. You can do other projects with them as well.
We saw a lot of logos in your presentation, and when I saw that, I was thinking about having limits to the amount of how many partners and sponsors you are actually going to agree on and how much you will involve in the festival. Is there a limit? Because, you know, once you have like dozens of them, it might not be as attractive to the new ones who might come, maybe?
Yes, we have different ways of showing those partners. So our top partners are, for example, on the posters or maybe on the as commercials in front of the cinema. But we have different places. For example, when it's a partner that's specifically focused on educational programs, we put them in newsletters for schools and show them on other places. So we divide those logos where they reach the audience the partner wants to reach.
Yeah, but no limits to the amount of the things involved.
For now, it's okay, so we didn't have to make limits, I think.
What about you, Michael? Isn't there so many sponsors and partners that are waiting?
In a longer time, you learn that the partnership established only for 1 year and then you lose it. This is a lot of energy for almost like nothing at the end. And you have to make clear at the beginning, you want to establish always a long time story with them. Otherwise, it's also for them not useful to give a little bit identity of this brand also to Schlingel. So maybe we are working also with a water company from our region. The brand is going more and more, this is the Schlingel drink. So, and when you want to know or you don't want to know, and if you want to be a little bit more in distance, then it's not the right element to choose a little bit like an event lighthouse like Schlingel. And that you have to know before.
Yeah, sure. I have a lot of more questions connected to the whole topic, but I'm thinking that it might be more useful if all of us actually were already on a stage and we could start the panel. But the one question is whether you want to take a short break before we do that, or we can just jump in and you can also, of course, have a coffee and anything during the time. So are you up to continuing in the... Okay, so let's invite all of us, Jarmila, Jan and Antonia, if we could just get the chairs. Thank you. No, we're actually staying here. It's going to be all of us discussing the thing. Okay.
It's easier.
Oh, is it? Really? Do you want it like this? Okay. Okay. No, I think. Yeah. So consider this just a small break time, yes? Takhle? Kam bych měla jít já? Kam mám jít? What? Do you need anything, Michael?
No, a coffee, but later.
You can take it now, no worries. Okay, good. Okay, so I guess we can start probably with the discussion and also with the Q&A. I'll start with one question and then I'll give you option to ask. So if you want to, get ready, get prepared, and your moment will come. But there is one thing none of you mentioned that much. So let's get into the political territory of the thing, which I think is nowadays very important thing, as probably it has always been. I believe each of our countries treat culture a little differently, you know, history-wise and culture-wise, and we could go on with that. Some are cutting it, some barely mention it. From your perspective, one honest sentence from your experience, how does your country really treat funding of its own culture and of the film festivals right now? And who's willing to start with that? Repeat the question. How does your country and your country government is currently, you know, treating the funding for the film festivals and for the culture right now, maybe in general? Is that as difficult to answer?
Okay,
Is it controversial?
But I can just say the truth. Yeah. The numbers are speaking for me. It's not a political. I don't say anything political. I just say.
Oh, really? But that is interesting. So when probably, like, you know, maybe the government shifts and someone else comes to power, it doesn't change. It stays the same.
No. The things in Italy at the moment have changed. This is the reason why a lot of actors and Italian actors and directors are protesting publicly, because they cut a lot of money from cinema, from the help that government gives to Italian productions. So it's a fact. It's not a political. It's not my opinion. It's what is happening. Mm-hmm. And another thing that changes, before you can, until 3 years ago, something like that, you can ask money for your festival, for your event. And the Ministry of Culture decided you present a project, and they give you they give you money in a very different way. So if you are a big festival, you have more money. Mm-hmm. It is still in this way, but they cut in the half. There is a maximum that now you can have from the ministry. Mm-hmm. So in many cases, it's the half of before. So it's a 50% cut.
Yeah.
And for Gifoni, but not just for Gifoni, it's for everyone, because there is a maximum. So also a festival that before has more money than Gifoni, now the maximum is the same for everyone. Mm. So it's not a Gifoni problem, it's a common problem.
Yeah, but since it's a common problem, do you think
just one small thing, because you ask why, and we imagine that the reply is very easy. In this way, they give money to many events, more events than before. Okay. It's not based, so a lot of people have money. This is good for numbers of events, but it's not good for the quality of the events. So now they have decided more events, more people working. And so this could be a good thing, but you lose on the quality.
Yeah, so they are just trying to diversify the money and put it into more projects. Okay, Jan, what's your experience?
Yeah, it's been a very tumultuous few years in the political landscape in Estonia that the government currently has a very low support and they are cutting money from culture quite a lot. As I mentioned, we had the whole issue with the Ministry of Education that they wrote new guidelines and whatnot, and essentially, without getting too much into details, as I said before, then like the scope of Black Nights Film Festival is growing and the scale is growing quite fast. But the money from the government has been the same for the last few years, so the gap keeps getting bigger. And in general, well, it's, of course, it's not an easy situation to be in, and the defense ministry takes essentially the budget that was the extra budget that was of culture goes to defense now, which makes sense, but isn't too helpful. So for our sakes and our festivals, so it's definitely like it's a similar situation in that sense that there's no easy solution in sight either. We have to start involving private money more because there's no other way we can keep afloat and keep growing even, or like stay alive even and keep growing. We do need more funds from elsewhere, and yeah, it's I don't know if I answered the question fully, but
that actually definitely answers that. And Jarmila, situation in our country, we have quite a new Minister of Culture who's been doing a lot of things, maybe slightly more ideologically based and value-based. What's your experience?
My jsme tento festival, ten festival před 14 lety byl ještě, tehdy byla možnost takových priorit v rámci rozpočtu Ministerstva kultury a Zlínský festival byl v těch prioritách. Pak došlo k nějaké restrukturalizaci v rámci rozpočtování. Z těch prioritách zůstal pouze KVIF jako Karlovarský filmový festival. My jsme z toho vypadli a od té doby jsme už nikdy takovou částku nedostali. Bavíme se o tom, že to byl opravdu v té chvíli docela zásadní propad v tom financování. Dostali jsme se na 2/3 podpory, která byla předtím. Opravdu od nástupu vlastně nového majitele festivalu jsme celou dobu, já jsem tu 10. rok, usilovali o to zase zastabilizovat ten náš projekt na nějaké, dostat trošičku naspět a udělat tu stabilní víceletou nějakou dohodu, abychom měli nějakou jistotu a zase se dostali na to místo, kde si myslíme, že festival, který je takovou vlajkovou lodí, by měl mít prostě. A vlajkovou lodí té kultury, protože je opravdu nejstarší na světě, to takových věcí tu není v této zemi. A povedlo se to po mnoha letých jednáních, ať se měnily vlády, takže stále prostě se o to snažili. A tu smlouvu memorandového typu jsme podepsali na konci volebního období té předchozí vládní koalice. Musím říci, že jsme čekali, co se bude dít. Říkám to tak, jak to je, ale vlastně došlo k potvrzení té smlouvy a jsme za to moc rádi. Takže tam jsme se jako udrželi. Ale je to o tom, že samozřejmě nikdo neví, co se bude dít dál. Když vidíme ty věci, které se dějí, přesně, jak jste to, Moniko, říkala, uvidíme, my máme jenom zase pro dokreslení pro vás zahraniční, tak jak zde říkal kolega z Estonska, u nich dostali nařízení, že nesmí školy platit vstupné, ať jdou za jakoukoliv kulturou, říkal jste to ve své prezentaci. Tady jsme udělali takový mezikrok, že máme otevřené všechny státní, nevím, 3. neděli v měsíci, všechny státní instituce, muzea, galerie a tak, také mají mít otevřeno pro všechny zdarma. Je to takový nějaký krok. Zatím nejsme tak daleko a věřím, že nebudeme tak daleko. Protože hlavně ta živá kultura prostě je závislá na těch příjmech od těch návštěvníků a myslím si, že to je zcela zásadní způsob, zásadní noha prostě ve financování živé kultury. Takže tam věřím, že se nedostaneme. Nicméně my jsme teď opravdu s naším festivalem, teď se bavím o Zlínu, se dostali do toho, že máme podepsanou smlouvu a věříme, že bude dále naplňována. Ale v tom, jak jsem hovořila o těch 6 festivalech, nebavím se o Karlovarském, o tom největším festivalu, ten má dlouhodobé memorandum na docela vysokou částku a věřím, že se to prostě nezmění, protože je to prostě, potřebují to. Ale ta další skupina nás, co máme takovou asociaci filmových festivalů, tak společně usilujeme o to, aby se stát nebál říct ty priority, aby se nebál říct, že ano, je to těžké, ale tohle to jsou jako jasně zaměřené projekty, které jeden je na animovaný film a prostě je jasný, patří tam. Tenhle je lidskoprávní festival, prostě má to smysl. Tenhle festival je prostě festival dokumentárních filmů a zase jsou to prostě jako ty píky v té problematice a myslím si, že je dobře, když si dokáže kdokoliv vydefinovat nějakou prioritu a tu držet i v okamžiku, kdy není úplně dobře. Prostě ve chvíli, kdy se rozmělní ty prostředky, ale teď hovořím sama za sebe, když se rozmělní ty prostředky, tak vlastně uškodí to vlastně v konečném důsledku všem. Když je horší způsob, horší doba, tak je potřeba si vytipovat ty priority, které drží nějakou linku a jsou stabilními pilíři pro to, a když bude zase lépe, aby mohli vedle toho růst ty další projekty. A prostě myslím si to dlouhodobě, že vlastně pokud někdo, samozřejmě ty projekty tohoto typu, jako je těchto 7 festivalů, o kterých jsem hovořila ve své prezentaci, tak mají samozřejmě i o to velké rozpočty. Jsou prostě mnohem, vlastně on se to tváří, že nejsme zranitelní, když máme ten velký rozpočet, ale je to o té kvalitě, o tom, že vlastně zase na to nabalená větší komunita lidí a také dodavatelských oblastí. A tak na tom projektu velkém je navázáno další velké množství subdodavatelů, kteří jsou na tom projektu závislí. A ve chvíli, kdy máme velký výpadek, tak ty dopady jsou dále do celého toho stromu, který je při tom velkém projektu navázaný. Nevím, jestli jsem to dobře vysvětlila, ale prostě myslím si opravdu, že je to o tomto případě politické odvaze pojmenovat ty věci. A nevím, jestli tady je. To prostě není.
Vedle and Michal just could not probably hear or actually understand what Jarmila was saying, but the same question goes to you too. What's the situation in Netherlands when it comes to government support and whether it's stable during the years or not?
So 15 years ago, we had a big cuts for the cultural support of the government. So then it was the biggest fall down, and it's still not very certain. But especially now, it's not very certain at city level. So the budget for culture has to be shared with other budgets for other parts of the city, and that's actually something that's much harder to get. But for now, Cinekid is one of 5 film organizations who get structural finance from the government, and it's like in 4 years' time. So we are now structurally supported from 2024 till 2028, and then we have to reapply. But we are the only film organization within these 5 organizations that's focused on children. So that's very good for us that we have this, that we have this as unique selling point, actually.
Michal, what is the situation like in Chemnitz?
It's really not so easy to answer for Germany about most of the funding coming from the region and not from the country.
But that is not connected to the government or who's in charge.
The states are closer to you, you know? This is really helpful in this case, in the larger country like we are. And we are in a situation in Saxony, I must say, that we have 5 film festivals are in the financial structure of the government, of the state government, but we are completely different. So that's the Doc Film Festival in Leipzig for international documentaries mainly, and also for animation. And the Short Film Festival in Dresden is completely different from us. And then we have in the corner with the Czech Republic and Poland, we have the Nice Film Festival, and they have a completely own opinion of working together in this area. That's completely unique, I think. And we have a film festival for students and for short films in the Leipzig area, only for people filmmakers from the southeast of Germany. So, and then we as a children film festival. So it's different, and we are also in different cities or regions. So this is helpful, but it's happened by accident. We have this kind of structure. When we are taking a look to other states, it's completely different from state to state. I'm growing up in the north part of Germany, in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. There it's only one real festival supported, that's it. And they have also no really support for film production. So it really depends on the area where you are. In our area, with the MDM, Central German foundings, they are taking care mainly also for children films, and also from co-productions, especially to the former or the political way Eastern European films. And so we are a bit in a situation to be in the positive focus of them. But you never know, does it happen in 2 years again, or something? Is the government changing? Then you don't know what has happened then later. And I was talking with, maybe it's going a little bit away from the festival side, but to the film production. Our filmmakers love the situation with this regional funding. About if they get a no from this area, they go to the next point in asking, and so they have 10 different points to get a positive answer. It's a lot of effort, but you have 10 chances to get a yes, to start with your project. And I feel it's too much, but they say, no, we can be proud that we have this solution. Otherwise, when I'm a new filmmaker, nothing could be happening. And then I'm coming back to film festivals. If there's a need in some region for something to do, it will be earlier happen when this state founding is closer to the region than from the whole country, like you have it in Italy.
Okay, thank you for that. And now I'm opening the whole discussion to you, and we have a first question, and I bet we have asking our production team whether we have a microphone. Currently. Do we have okay, you can do that, but we want to have it, on the record. Could we just please use the microphone? Thank you.
Hello, Kasia Kucia from Young Horizons Poland. First of all, thank you so much for very inspiring presentations, and hearing you, I became really curious about who is behind the scenes. So, on the side of how much does the fundraising cost you, I don't mean the figures, but the engagement of the staff. So what are your solutions here? What are the best practices that you can share here with us?
Mm-hmm. Who's going first? Okay.
Yeah, so I briefly touched on it in my presentation as well, but it's difficult to say how many people we have with Just Film all year round, because so many of things like cinema projectionists and organizing the files and everything are done in collaboration with Black Nights Film Festival for us. But working only on Just Film, it's me as the festival director and program director, our program coordinator who looks up films and negotiates with distributors, then our head of marketing and partner relations, industry, the head of industry, And then our programming team, which is 8 people, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody, we have the youngest member is 15 years old, and the oldest is like 30 something, so quite young. And besides that, every year from August, September, our festival takes place in November. For this year, it's from the 6th to the 22nd, for example, so 2.5 weeks. It's quite long. And then usually from August onwards, we take a few interns. We take some people on a project-based, shorter-term contract. And ideally, we'd like to have people who do the same thing every year, and they just come and help us out for a few months. And we have some in some roles that have done it, and like always are glad to help out. But it depends, and it's always why this isn't great is that every time there's a new person, you need to train them, and it takes a ton of time to teach the systems and how everything works. And yeah, we're working together with PEF to try to make that more efficient, so that there's like an online place where they can learn everything on their own and everything. So yeah, but I'd say that we have a very small team and a lot of volunteers, of course, as well, who help us out during the festival. But yeah, I guess that's it. Well, we do. Those are we have our own program director. We have me. We have, as I said, the industry days is done by Gert, who also does guest coordination, and what else? And yeah, partners and relations is only used. But that's like 5 people in total throughout the year. Yeah.
How many people? It depends. During the festival, there are hundreds of people. I don't know exactly the number, the exact number, because as I said before, imagine we work in theater with children without teacher, without parents. So one of the biggest office of the festival is the jury office, absolutely the biggest. I think that after the jury office with the monitor, chaperone, and so on, there are different figures. And because we have an international jury, we need people who talk at least English. And then there is the communication office. It's also a very big office because there are people who in charge of TV, in charge of radio, and there are a lot of journalists. In the last year, above all, a lot of young content creators for social network. The number of real journalists is down, but is up. The number of people who work as a freelancer on the net, and then we have hospitality and driver. And another problem of Gifoni is that we need a lot of cars and bus because it's a small city. We don't have hotels, so all the guests are in Salerno, that is 20 kilometers from Gifoni, and we need to take these people. And the airport is in Naples, and the station is in Salerno. And so there is a group. So during the festival, we are at least 200 people working for the festival. During the year, to do whatever we want, we need at least 40 people. And it is a big number, as you can understand. But imagine to have a group of people that during the year went in 7 different places for the festival I talked before. So we need people who work, for example, the artistic direction team work all the year, because now we work on the selection from October until May, and then we work to the selection for the film for the other festival, and then we work on the educational content for sponsor or for other events. Obviously, the contracts are really different. There are 5 people with, I don't know in English, but a contract, yeah. and the other are in Italian is partita IVA. You work at the end of the work, project based, and that's it.
Okay. And do you have like a special division for fundraising?
Yes, because I think yes, we have as an association we can't sell merchandising and so on. So we created another association that is commercial, and they are in charge of fundraising and merchandising. It's incredible, I don't remember the name. Gifoni Media Service. Gifoni Media Service is, there are people in common, but is autonomous. And they work, essentially they work for us. They do all the commercial stuff that we can do. And so but for example, when it works in this way, there are one people working all the year for this society, and they ask us the content, the creative content. They say, okay, I have this sponsor, they are interested in us, but what we can do? And at this time, someone from the artistic direction say, okay, they are working on this, and we can create together this and that. So they do the contract, but the creative part is up to us.
Okay, so am I getting correctly that the core of your question was actually about the team of the fundraisers, how many people take care of that?
Regarding the public funding, the sponsors, the fundraising, but I'm also interested in how your teams look like in general, so please don't stop.
Just wanted to clear that out.
Festival je připravovaný celoročně 13 lidmi v takové té celoroční bázi. S tím že také je to na různých formách smluv. Menší část je zaměstnanců a tak jakoby půl na půl, zaměstnanci a jiné smlouvy. Co se týká obchodních akvizice, toho obchodu, tak na té se podílí vlastně 3 lidé, 2 pánové a já jim k tomu asistuji. A vlastně v tom určitém okamžiku se potom překlápí ta akviziční činnost do té produkčně realizační i u těchto dvou mužů. A jsme opravdu, oni opravdu vyjednávají ty kontrakty. Já jsem to dělávala předtím a teď jsem to trošku jako rozšířila a popřesouvala dál a měli jsme štěstí musím říct, dobrou ruku před 2 lety se podařilo sehnat člověka, který je, ano, je to obchodník prostě, je to obchodník. Se vším, co k tomu patří, v tom nejlepším slova smyslu a měli jsme to štěstí, my jsme spolupracovali před několika lety na jednom z filmových festivalů a on ví, co znamená slovo filmový festival, ví, co znamená festivalová realizace a to byla ta naše velká výhoda a považuji to za velký benefit pro činnost, akviziční činnost pro ten projekt. Takže je to o tom, že jsme se dokázali na ty klienty dívat přesně tím okem toho napojení. Víme, jak znamená, jak se dá lehce zobchodovat prostě klienta se dá, ale zobchodovat ho tak, aby se dobře propojil s tím projektem a splňoval to, co my potřebujeme, to znamená vlastně vnímal, co mu říkáme a ty svoje aktivity trošku začal přizpůsobovat, tak to je velmi důležité, když to vnímá jak ten obchodník a není orientovaný jenom na finance a na to získání peněz, ale vnímá projekt, který prodává. Protože, jak jsem říkala, neprodáváme zboží, neprodáváme šroubky, prodáváme prostě velmi citlivé věci, prodáváme prostě vlastně cílovou skupinu a projekt, kterému chceme udržet nějaké renomé. A jenom jak to bylo zmíněno, že jedním z našich partnerů tu byla Slivovice, Rudolf Jelínek. Já to hned vysvětlím a uvedu to tak do toho kontextu. Rudolf Jelínek je tady regionální velká vyhlasná firma, která vyrábí slivovici, to je regionální alkoholický nápoj, velmi, velmi známý po celém světě. Ale ta spolupráce je postavena, letos je ještě více umírněna, ale je postavena na tom, že oni pořádají hudební festival v létě a ten festival pro ně propagujeme, zejména v letním kině. A oni nám dávají benefity pro naše dobrovolníky, kteří potom mohou v létě navštívit ten festival. Na tom je to založené a ano, na večírcích tady na festivalovém našem servisu pro naše hosty a partnery byla tato firma prezentována nějakými ochutnávkami a tak dále, ale zcela striktně prostě opravdu to není směřované nikdy do té naší cílové skupiny. A když se vrátím zase do té celé realizace festivalu, tak potom se ten náš tým samozřejmě rozrůstá. Měsíc a půl před festivalem z té útlé skupiny je zhruba 30 lidí, potom to ještě přibobtná. Na té současné realizaci se podílí v takových těch pozicích, které jako jsou přímo řízeny štábem, v tuto chvíli více než 500 lidí a pak jsou samozřejmě naši dodavatelé, které jsou prostřednictvím svých dále řízení, ale takže to pak se někde motáme kolem 1000 lidí, kteří se na těch dílčích věcech podílejí, ale v přímém řízení, včetně dobrovolníků, je to 500 lidí v tuto chvíli.
What about Synekit?
Thank you. So at this moment for fundraising is just me, but I work closely with our director and we think about it together, of course. But I also are in contact with our team members. So for example, when I talk about media partners, the head of marketing is with me and we do it together. We're actually searching for a new head of marketing right now who's focused more on brands so that we can develop that more. But also for example, Syndicate for Professionals, when it's more about content, so not partners for fundraising, but for content, it's their responsibility and I help with relationship management. So it's just me, but we have a team and we do it together to make sure everything comes together.
Mm-hmm. Michael, is it also just you or not?
Yeah, I think Antonia is not telling the truth. How many inhabitants has Gifoni? 12,000? Yeah. I think you have 12,000 workers for you. So as I was there twice, it was always the whole little town was in move and everybody was helping the festival for a great success. This is very unique, I feel. Coming back to our small team, we are 14 at all and we don't say a fundraising team, but we do it in the marketing and there we are 2. And it's mainly my son doing this job now and then we have a little bit developed this before, that we were 3, but then we found out the bureaucracy is so complicated on the other side with the funding from all the public money that we had to give one person from this point to the other point. And since the pandemic, it is more than double effort what we have from the public funding to do. This is an incredible development in, I think, not only in Germany, everywhere in Europe, or we have to find a way out of this. But coming to the solution, we are 14 and 2 for marketing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Another question here. Okay, there we have one. But this is funny. Is like the bureaucracy ever an obstacle when getting money? Just, you know. Yeah, is it? Is the same everywhere? Okay.
Hello, I'm Giulia. I'm an animation producer from Italy. Since, from my understanding, a lot depends on ministry, I wanted to ask you if you have planned to or already did host like panels with Ministry of Culture's members, and in case you did, how did it go? Because I feel like sometimes the conversation is very, let's say, meta. So it's us, producers, distributors, and festival and programmers talking about the ministry. And I don't know if it's something you already thought of. Thank you.
Are you going? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be brief with this, but in Estonia, since Black Nights Film Festival is one of the biggest culture events we have, if not the biggest, for like how big it is and how many foreign visitors it brings to Estonia. They've always happily supported us, and like the conversation has been very fruitful, and we know each other's goals, we know what each other wants, and every year when we go there, the conversation is nice and mutual, and has been so with different governments. But still, they don't want to increase the money, even though our scope is growing. So I'd say that for us, it's actually not the most difficult to get that sum of money from them that we usually get, because they know how much it brings back to the country, especially in November when tourism otherwise would be completely dead because it's horrible. The weather is horrible in Estonia then. But yeah, we've had a pretty good relationship with them, I'd say.
We don't have panels for politics, but we have a lot of space for them. There is a section I didn't mention, but it's specifically created for them in such a way. Because we have the section Impact, that is a section at the moment directly created by the founder of the festival. Because he knows very well how it's important to have relationship with not just with the filmmaker, but with the rest of the world. So in this section, we have just meetings with the politics, with writers, with people that are not just from the cinema, to talk about the world to young people, university students, essentially. So in this context, it's not strange to meet the Ministry of Work, the Ministry of Education, and so on. The meaning of these meetings are double. We want that the government knows what happened in the festival, knows what would happen during the event. And on the other hand, we want that young people can ask questions to people coming from the real world. And so, but this doesn't change the general politics of the government. And we know that at the moment there are so many big problems. And so the single ministry, the single candidate can make a decision on his own, or they can also say, oh, everything is wonderful, but it's not in the general frame. It's like, I remember I think 20 years ago, we still have the media funding. We lost this funding 20 years ago because a person was in charge to check the festival, and at the end of the check, she said, "I'm sorry, this is wonderful, but I have to cut your funding, because you are such a unique and different things that you are not in our frame anymore. You are too much." And so we have to cut the funding. Because I was desperate, because I was in charge of the relation with them. And so when she said, I have to cut your funding, I say, oh, what I did wrong? And she said, no, everything is wonderful, but I have to cut because you are a different thing. So I think that many times this is the problem. It's not the person that can appreciate you, love the festival, and so on, but the frame is changing.
Has this ever happened to us in Zlín?
Tohle se nám nestalo. Jsem ráda. A já to trošičku jenom ještě zase pootočím jiným směrem, ale kolegové to určitě vrátí na stejnou linku. My jsme z toho důvodu, aby s námi někdo hovořil, s filmovými festivaly tady jako v České republice, jako bral nás více ve zřetel, tak jsme právě před asi 4 lety se domluvili s ty jmenované festivaly mnou již několikrát, že založíme asociaci českých filmových festivalů, abychom byli trošku více vnímanou platformou, důležitou platformou a partnerem pro vyjednávání, jak pro Ministerstvo kultury, tak pro Státní fond tehdy kinematografie, dnes audiovize. Je to, vlastně my se učíme tu roli správně zvládat, takže ještě jsme pořád jsme v nějakém procesu toho, jakým způsobem jakým způsobem vystupujeme vůči těm institucím, ale ušli jsme určitý kus cesty. A na co jsme narazili při různých jednáních, nemáme žádné panely, ty nejsou, ale přesto několikrát jsme měli možnost se setkat s vedením ministerstva a nebo s lidmi z Státního fondu a vlastně snažíme se trošku pootočit pohled na festivaly, zejména na té ministerské úrovni, že jsme součástí prostě filmového průmyslu, že to tak je, že ty filmové festivaly jsou v tom řetězci, měly by tak být vnímané, protože vzniká spousta filmů, u vás také, které vlastně mnohdy nemají jinou možnost, než se dobře odprezentovat v rámci těch festivalů. Takže je to i pro podporu té národní filmové tvorby, jsou ty festivaly nesmírně důležité a myslím si, že potřeba, aby tady u nás začaly tak být více vnímány, protože si myslím, že všichni z nás máme lepší pověst v zahraničí nebo lepší postavení v tom zahraničí nebo vnímání těch festivalů v zahraničí než tady u nás, jako od těch institucí. Ale když vlastně jsem poprvé vyslovila na jednom setkání to slovo průmysl, tak se vlastně ti lidé z toho Ministerstva kultury tak trošku jako zatřásli, ale myslím si, že je to důležité, aby filmové festivaly byly vnímány jako opravdu plnohodnotný kroužek v tom řetězu, který je vázaný k prostě filmové tvorbě, filmové výrobě, k celému tomu průmyslu, protože to množství lidí, zase se vrátím k tomu množství lidí, který je na tom závislých, na té výrobě, tak potřebujeme, aby měli i popularizaci ty práce, které vzniknou a tu popularizaci můžeme dát, a ten fokus můžeme dát tady na těch festivalech, ať už je to u nás, kdekoliv v zahraničí. Takže to je takový pohled na věc trošku z jiné strany, a moje odpověď je, že panely nejsou.
What's your answer, Verle? And also maybe you can follow up to what Jarmila said about whether Cinekids is in Netherlands considered to be a part of the whole circuit, of the film industry.
I think we are in good contact with the ministry, so we have regular meetings with them about how the festival is going and evolving. They know who we are, and we always update them about everything. We don't have the panels, but it's one-on-one discussions.
And do you have do you have any rules for that? How often that must happen, or does it just come on some basis you decide on?
Yeah, there are some rules. So every year we have to give an evaluation and give them some reports about it and have a discussion. But as well during the year when we have some things you want to discuss with them, we can always do. So that's very nice. I think for us now, it's also very interesting to have this contact with the city, and we have, so that's good. We have a new office now, actually, and it's close nearby to the city's offices, so it's our neighbor now, so that's good. We talk with them about local partners and create a feeling about our impact in the region. And I'm also talking at this moment with the province of Amsterdam, so it's Noord-Holland, the north of Holland, it's called, and we have conversations with them as well. So we really try to be involved in every part of the government structure. Yeah.
What it's like for you, Michael, because you also have a part of the whole structure of who you probably talk to.
Yeah, but it was not in our mind at the beginning. At the beginning of the festival, it was just to show films from different countries to the audience in the region. And then the thing was that we are going more and more interesting for the industry to come to us and to present something. But I think at the beginning, the brand of Schlingel was outside Germany more large than inside. About the town Chemnitz is not a film town in Germany. You go to Hamburg, to Berlin, to Munich, and so on. And it's taking a while till we are appearing on the map of the children film industry. So we have meetings, a lot of meetings, and I can say the largest or the biggest meeting is during the Berlinale, this kind of, we're doing together with ECFA the children film reception, and I think mostly all of the German children film actors are there. So, and this is very interesting to bring them together, and there you have also this kind of opinion, the Berlinale, everybody's there, but nobody find each other. And so, and so this is, in the meantime, very unique for the children film scene. And also that was making possible that Chemnitz appearing on the map for the children film industry themselves. In my short trailer, I was showing also a kick-off of the School of Magical Animals, part number 3. How I can say that this was the most successful children film from German side since years, with more than 3.5 million visitors. And they choosing the Schlingel as one of the kickoffs. So that was not imaginable 10 or 15 years ago, and a lot of organization behind. And maybe that you get a feeling for it. Then we were traveling with 3 of the actors to another country, to Japan, to have a presentation in Tokyo. And the most complicated thing is to bring them in an airplane with German youth people, and they are not allowed to sit together. Does somebody recognize them inside the airplane? So they are some kind of stars in the youth time, and this is a point of discussion we are in more from the educational side, how you can take care for youth people. They are playing a main role in film, and the industry often not doing it by themselves. They using youth people to bring them on the screen, and later they lose them to what stage ever. And so we are trying always to say you have to the sustainability for this kind of people is very important. And this is one point what we are always bringing on the map of the industry. And so we are coming up with this point, and the industry asking also us for such things. What is important from the youth side? And so this kind of talks is maybe one what was not happened from themselves.
Okay, thank you. I believe you might have, Marketa. Yes.
Just a second. Last question on Verlaine. Could you please explain us how is your position to Rotterdam Film Festival in financial level? Because Rotterdam is the biggest festival in Netherlands, and you are very, very strong brand for a film industry in children, for children in Netherlands. So how is it actually in Netherlands?
Yes, so indeed, Rotterdam is also a very big festival, and it's also one of the 5 that's supported by the government. We are in a lot of contact with them. Of course, they are we're not like competing because our focus is on children and theirs is not. So it's like that's our strength.
I said it wrong because my question was, how is your position from the point of the Ministry of Culture or from the financial things, from the government?
So for the government, they have some list of things they think are important for the film organizations in the Netherlands. So every 4 years they review this case and see is it all like, is everyone bringing something else? And for us, it's the children, it's the view of the children. And for Rotterdam, is something else. So it's like we all fill in a different part of what the government thinks it's important. And for now, that's why we collaborate. It's not that we're fighting about this government funding. Yeah. So that's very good. And,
yeah, that's also something to remember, that it's always nicer to collaborate than to fight and conquer. That's true. And since we're getting to the end of this whole conference, I think it would be nice to somehow sum it up from the point of view of each of you. If you could do that in 1 or 2 sentences, what is the thing that you'll be bringing to your next adventures and you're bringing from this conference? What would it be?
No, I think, yes. I think it was genuinely really helpful. I wrote down notes throughout the presentations, and I got a ton of like smaller or bigger ideas where to look towards for like both funding and just like projects and ideas to do with other festivals, and especially for me, it's my first year in charge of Just Film. So. I think a ton of small ideas that I'd like to bounce with my team already. I can't wait to be in the office and talk to them and share what I got. And I think that sharing the presentations would be really helpful as well, just to go over and make sure we don't miss anything.
We'll definitely share the presentations with you, yes.
I think we are doing a wonderful job, not we. We together are doing a wonderful job. Not anyone is capable to see it, but I have hope, and we have energy to go on.
Okay. Thank you for that.
And it was, I don't know if comforting is the right word, but it was nice to see that we all have very similar issues. And we're all trying to work on them, and that we're not alone with our issues, especially with funding and percentages and where we get money from. So I'll sleep a bit better thanks to knowing that.
Já to pošlu dál a nechám si poslední slovo, jestli
Yes, I really like to talk about it together and feel this connectedness about funding, but also about the goal we have to make quality, to give children quality film and media. So it's very special, and we're all doing a good job, I think.
Yeah, I think we are here to build bridges between the people, bridges between the cultures, and this is one of the most important things. And what we can see here right now, we have a lot of bridges between us to help each other, and we have also to invite other people to join us to bring them together in peace and freedom.
Jarmila, the last word.
Teď já. Víte, my máme jednu velkou výsadu proti jiným filmovým festivalům, že děláme festivaly pro mladé lidi a pro děti a pro mladé lidi. A já myslím, že my máme tu možnost budovat také ty mosty mezi generacemi, protože tam to prostě občas zadrhává už a že to je strašná, nebo to je moc krásná možnost. A na druhou stranu bych byla moc ráda, aby se nám to společně dařilo. A to, že sdílíme své informace a své názory a své problémy o financování, protože to je strašně důležité, protože ty projekty bez financování, bez finančních prostředků, nejenom z těch státních institucí, prostě se může dít, že se za chvilku neobejdou. A my se snažíme tady, vy, kdo sem jezdíte několik roků, nebo tak vidíte, že se o to snažíme, že se snažíme schánět ty komerční partnery. Je to opravdu, myslím si, hodně dané na startu tím, že máme majitele, který byl prostě majitelem továrny a ten jeho pohled na věc a to, že přemýšlí nad těmi věcmi, tak to bylo velmi důležité proto, že jsme začali velmi intenzivně a systematicky pracovat na práci s tím soukromým sektorem. A proto, když jsme se bavili o tématu konference, která by měla být ve Zlíně s Markétou v rámci networkingové skupiny, v rámci toho projektu, tak jsem říkal, pojďme se bavit o těch financích, protože to těží všechny a kdo to ještě v tuto chvíli úplně necítí, tak ho to za chvilečku může začít dobíhat a opravdu víme, jaká to má úskalí. Mnozí jsme si je tu řekli, jak s tím všichni, každý to řešíme, každý řešíme nějaký pohled na tu věc ze své strany a řeknu to tu potřetí, neprodáváme šroubky. Prodáváme prostě projekt, kde jsou děti, kde to je velmi citlivé a potřebujeme k tomu dobré a kvalitní partnery, kvalitní parťáky, kteří to vidí stejně. A to je asi ta nejtenčí nit, prostě najít ty partnery ze soukromého sektoru, kteří znají ty hranice, znají ty limity a mají svá pravidla a jsou ochotní prostě se jich držet. A to je prostě velmi důležité a jsem moc pyšná na to, že jsme tuhle konferenci mohli dělat tady ve Zlíně v rámci 66. Zlín Film Festivalu. Děkuji, že jste přijali pozvání. Děkuji.
So, yeah, we're coming to an end. Let's clap to this. Yes, thank you very much. We are ending the discussions and the talk here, but we will go on at the lunch. You can ask each other anything, probably network, build new connections. As we said before, sharing and mutual support is very, very, very much important, and we all need that. Thanks to Markéta and Jarmila for hosting this conference, again, for having me here. I was happy to be your host today. And yeah, let's get ready for the lunch and enjoy the rest of the festival. Thank you.